I've been tossed overboard.
I'll have to bill you extra for my time.
Welcome to the show. You look incredible, like a dessert that owns a yacht.
That's exactly the vibe I was going for. You know, sweet but slightly out of your tax bracket.
Mission accomplished. How does one even shop?
Gold on my neck, gold on my hand, purple with the stripes, that's the walk of a man. Sidewalk shining, city lights humming, every step I take, they know a boss is coming.
Blazing the whip, gotta vanquish the needs. My kingdom for some poppy seeds, yo.
Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yay!
Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
Yo, 100K gone. You thought it stayed quiet, huh? 2G in the chat like. Yeah. You flash fake racks on the timeline. Captain said charity with grind time. 100 bands raised, 100 bands off. You the touch to the halo with a cross. 56K from an angel in the comments. Heart full of faith, you turn to the prophet. Screenshot saved, every promise, every pledge. Bank statement singing when you tweeting off the edge. You ain't built for the smoke, you invited. Try to play God, now the numbers indicted. Seems like razors cut through the myth. Whole squad looking like an organized grift. 56K from a donut thief. 100K gone, it's a stolen dream. Gotta stay dark with the neck got teeth. Now you mean, and you clip, and you caught on stream. That umbrella guy, call it out on screen. Yeah, we see you, You prayed on the pain, turned trauma to a token. Each side story just a tool you were holding. Help the cause, every line pre-written, but the cause was your closet in the car you sitting in. You love weak links, hunt them in the thread. Baby, I care while you strip their bread. 56K from one, that's a life and ash. Your bar drip, that by time they'll never get back. That means get your face with a clown crown clips on repeat when the lies all fall down to a G on the mic. Every chart, every slide broke down a breakdown, let the numbers collide. You can't hide from the playback, you can't scrub with the chat track. Every blast you turn back and every trust me now backfire. You ain't a boss, you a book, mark. Held on the page where the fraud start. Whole damn mark in a thread in the chart, history written in the sidebar remarks. 56K from a donut thief. 100K gone, it's a stolen dream. Gotta stay dark with the neck got teeth. Now you mean when you clip, now you caught on stream. 56K from a donut thief. 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 On that map, 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 on that map.
What's up, folks? How's it going today? Welcome to a weekend edition. Well, a special edition too, because today we not only have some crazy stuff to talk about, but on top of that, we have a special guest, Mr. Coop. How's it going, sir?
What's up? How y'all doing in the chat? How you doing, Tug? Thanks for having me.
Doing good. 56K from a donor thief. I like it.
Is that new?
It's one I made. I made like a 5 block of songs, like in a, just this little, I guess a week or so. And it's one of those that's been in rotation, but it gets played with so many other ones. It's easy to miss them.
The
I like that one.
56K one, that's the first time I've heard it all the way through. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I like that. You're the type that would steal a halo off the cross. Well, that's pretty good. I have fun with that one. Man, it has been kind of a wild one today, too. I mean, we found out some really interesting stuff that tells me that not only are certain things happening, but certain things sound like they're not happening. And I think that's just as important to discuss, the not happening parts, between that, your fan club, because the fats seem to love you. I don't know why they love you so much, but
I'm just one of those irresistible fellows.
I guess, man, they talk about you so much.
Now, chat's sitting here saying they can't hear me. Can you hear me, Tug?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Just
all right. I just seen one pop up there. Can't hear you, Mr. Coop. Well, I'm not talking. I wasn't talking.
Yeah. You were muted at the very beginning, but
yeah.
No, you're good. You sounded good to me. I'll look at the chat and see if anybody's saying anything on levels, but you don't sound quiet or anything to me. You sound right. Yeah.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. They're like, yeah, they hear you. See, there are a bunch of them.
All right, cool. Oh, there's Johnny D. How you doing, bud? How you doing? So yeah, there's been a lot of stuff popped off. I don't know why they hate me so much. Maybe it's because I talk about stuff that they're doing that they shouldn't be doing. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm not sure, man. I mean, they seem to be pretty preoccupied with you, though. They seem to have maybe it's a crush. Maybe they're like, ooh, I saw some pictures recently of certain people, by the way, that I guess I hadn't seen before. Certain people that like to mock the way other people appear. And I thought,
you talk about the new superstar, the one that's claiming to be famous.
Indeed. And I thought, yeah, maybe you shouldn't laugh at the way other people look ever. I swear. I mean, when you say the fats and the 2XLs, I mean, it really does fit with these people these days. And then for them, like I said, to go out and to mock people, they mock a lot of the ladies, especially. They're really nasty toward them. And,
Oh yes.
For them to throw that around, it's like, oh no, you really don't have any room whatsoever to be talking.
I just don't get it though. They claim that I'm irrelevant, that I don't exist, but yet every morning, like clockwork, or every night for them, they're listening, and for some reason I'm relevant to them. I don't know.
They love you. That's what it is.
They got that super king size crush on old Coop.
Maybe that's what it is. That's kind of nauseating in its own way. It's funny. I was going back. I had earmarked some stuff Megan and I were supposed to talk about. And, there was a community post and everything I missed. So I guess I'm going to throw that in today. While we're here, why not make you part of the conversation? But, today, I heard something really interesting today. So Travis, he had a live stream today that, I don't know. Did you catch that today or
no? No. Whenever you told me about it, I was out running with Mama. So, I didn't really I didn't come home and watch it. I usually watch Travis of an evening. But tonight I'm kind of, side Googled. I've got other engagements tonight. I'm hanging out with you, so I didn't get a chance.
Well, he did a live stream. Let me pull it up here. That way we can all see what I'm talking about. Because I think it's first of all, people should definitely go and check out Travis. Give him some traffic for sure. He tries to stay out a lot of this crazy stuff. He really does try to be a good boy. He does, but certain people pull you in no matter what now. So he pulled up though today, like this caught my eye because he had a live stream, which what this tells me is amazing. There's another level of it that I don't think anybody's thought about at all. So he did a live stream called Neighbor's Attorney Sent Me Paperwork. Okay. Now with this, he goes through, he's talking about multiple things through the live stream, but he pulls this up. He's not sure whether or not he's supposed to discuss what's on it, so he doesn't go through it, but he does tell you the lawyer. Now, if you were to think who would be sending him paperwork, who would you guess, like right off the bat, like, of anyone, who would you think sent him paperwork?
Well, we know who sent him the paperwork, but I would think it would be Saran Wrap. But
yeah, that would have been my first guess right off the bat, because there's nothing, unless there's a new lawsuit that's come up, there would be no other reason for him to get paperwork, right? But his reaction to this paperwork, it tells you a lot. So what he got was bankruptcy paperwork, okay, which in and of itself is not a big deal, because if we go through all of the filings, folks, he's supposed to be getting paperwork, anytime something comes up. So like, for example, when you have a list of creditors, and I had to go and make sure of something before I talked about this. I had to look. If you look at like the newer list, he's up right here. Yep. See him up there, right? Okay. Well, and on the older list, give me 1 second too. This is all part of a point, so I want to make sure that I put this in front of people before I note this. Okay?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Get on it.
On the old paperwork too, you can see that he's listed here as well, right? Well, he is shocked by getting this paperwork here. Like, he doesn't know anything about it, except again, like the one person's on it, that it is Saran Wrap for sure. He does qualify that. What that tells me is he's never gotten paperwork before.
Right. And we know that Jeremy's been to how many creditors meetings so far? Quite a few.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be mailing out every time they put out something. They put out these lists that we talk about, and we look to see if the facts are on it, if they've been updated or whatever. Every time we read over that, what that is it's a list of parties who are supposed to. They require manual noticing. Say, check this out. It says it at the top of the list, so. That's the right one. It's one of the other. There it is. Yeah. I was like, well, I'll click on. I have 50-50 chance of getting one of the two things I posted.
There you go.
So it's notes here. The following is the list of parties who are not on the list to receive email notices. So that, with the email notices, typically all you're talking about there are lawyers. If you go through and you look at that, I mean, that's pretty much it. And anybody that's directly connected to the bankruptcy. So, like Bender or, someone like that, they may get one. But like I said, otherwise it's lawyers. Everyone else, all the creditors, they require manual noticing. You have to service, but you have to service them. Like, it's part of it. So the way that Travis reacted, he had no idea what this thing was, because I'm telling you, you can look at it and tell he had no idea that he was supposed to be getting mailings from this, because he has never gotten one before. This is the first one that he has gotten.
Huh. So if they're not sending out, all the creditors are on the list are not getting this paperwork.
Yeah,
that falls on Saran Wrap, does it not?
Yeah. Well, ultimately, no, it falls on Lynette.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because that's her. That's her dude, right? She can say that he's not doing his job, but ultimately, Lynette's the one that eats the blame. And what I'm wondering about this, I would be willing to bet that if Travis isn't getting it, other people aren't. See, Jeremy is the exception to the rule here because Jeremy has his own team of people that are involved in this. So they keep him apprised of everything. You know, he knows what's going on. He knows about all the meetings and stuff, but it's not because he's being mailed. It's because his team is telling him. So whether or not he's receiving mail, I can't speak to that. But I can speak to the idea that, again, you can just tell from the way that Travis reacts. He is not getting any of this stuff, you know?
Now, I don't know.
Threatened him. Somebody noted, by the way, they did threaten to sue him over Lloyd's camper. Yeah, way back. But, you know, as far as bankruptcy and even further back, with Trespass 5, you know, they never did anything with it. In fact, so I've talked to Travis a few times because, you know, I've asked him a couple of things just to clarify certain items. And I've had him on a couple of times. So I asked him back when about Trespass 5. You know, we're talking about when the thumbnail case was still standing. All of us were wondering. We were like, what's going on with this, right? Well, I just went straight to it. I was like, hey, you know, what's going on with this? And Travis, his answer confused me more than it helped me because he was like, he was like, is it still going on? Is there something going on with it? I have no idea.
That's insane. So my question is you got these creditors meetings, right? And he's not been aware of them.
Yeah.
Are these things being discussed in these meetings that he should be aware of?
Yes, he is a creditor. He is allowed to be there and he's allowed to object to anything or whatever. He is supposed to be informed or apprised of this. And if they are not mailing him and they're not mailing other people, that is a giant no-no. That is a problem.
Are they deliberately trying to get this woman put in jail?
I wonder, you know, with this, are they deliberately not informing certain people? So maybe they can see one of the things they're trying to push through something that, you know, you very well would object to. Like if you put me on a list of people and said, hey, these people right here can never sue me for anything I've ever done. And, you know, I'm just going to write off any future. So I'd be like, hell no, that is not going to happen. No way. You know, that this person has brought frivolous litigation. They brought it in the past. You know, obviously, when they brought this one case, which has already been brought up, the thumbnail case, they brought another case. They brought the Trespass 5. That Trespass 5, it is some iteration of that is currently being discussed. You know, we have it on pause for the moment, but still it is being talked about. I'd have a real problem with that. And like I said, I wonder who else is not getting mailings being told about creditors meetings. Deanna, the Grangers. I mean, I wonder too, is Jeremy actually getting mailings? You know, I realize his, like I said, his lawyers and stuff, they get certain things, but you know, is he himself getting any kind of notice or, you know, again, is he supposed to? I'd have to go and redact or unredact all of the email addresses and see if one of him is supposed to go directly to him or if it's care of, you know, his lawyers. Because I know certain things were care of his lawyers. But
now,
anyway.
Well, we know Jeremy has a legal team. And you can imagine that all the rest of these creditors, these companies, like you got, what is this? This financial company here, finance company, you know, those guys have lawyers. So would you think maybe that everybody that's represented by lawyers are probably getting this? It's just the ones that aren't represented not getting them, or
I don't know, but it's a good question. Are they doing what they're supposed to be doing? I think that's the $1 million question with this. Are they actually out there following the rules?
It makes you wonder, man. I know Jeremy's said a couple of times that he's been to these creditors meetings, and he doesn't make it sound like he was by himself. So,
well, here's the $1 million question off of that. With other people, like if they've been keeping up with it, say, I'm just going to throw a random person in, Deanna. Again, not to pick on them or throw their name in, but just to say she goes. Is she actually being mailed and told about this stuff since she's on the list here, or is she being told by it's not Jeremy's responsibility to inform her, but he may, because he knows these people and stuff, he may be telling them, hey, this is going on. They could also be keeping up with the docket themselves, but that's not their responsibility either.
I like you said, if I'm listed as a creditor on here, they need to be sending me information.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you from Willis's, his response, you can 100% tell. Like it had caught him off guard. He had no idea why this was being mailed to him. This is our first mailing. I will bet you money on it. He is not being told about what's going on. And that is a huge, huge problem.
Oh, I can guarantee he's scratching his head trying to figure out what's going on. Because like we talked about a while ago, he's not sued her. So she doesn't owe him any money. So why is he a creditor? For potential lawsuits?
Yeah, well, yeah, for the that's what they're trying to write off. That's what I've been saying, such a dumb idea about what they're trying to do. Because if what they did was actually legal, if the way she's trying to do it, every business out there would try to do this as well. They would try to write off any. I got to write real quick. What's up, girl?
What's up?
Oh, the little bug.
You watching?
Huh?
You mean we're cleaning?
While cleaning? Yes, we nailed a mouse in her room. So didn't we? Well, somebody had a mess, and she was like, "Oh, I seen a mouse. And yeah, sure.
The hidden candy stash.
Yeah, we weren't lying.
Yeah, we got one, didn't we?
Yeah, Sissy took a picture and Stinky Boo.
Yeah, the snake's out. It's looking around.
Yeah, he needs the.
It's almost his feeding time. He eats tomorrow, so that's why he's looking around. He's like, "Hey, where's my food?"
Yeah, like, where's my food? But why not, like, you just put signs up, like you get signs to say tomorrow or paper, because I think he can read.
You think he can read? I don't think he can read.
Just put 2 in tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think he can read, but I mean, never know, right?
Yeah, we don't know until
could be the smartest snake ever, I guess.
Yeah, he is growing.
Yeah, he is growing for sure.
Yeah, and he is starting. He's been climbing up with the rocks.
Hey, look. Hey, what? Here and after. So, what's that?
$2.
$2 in it. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
They said candy fun with that one. That's nice, huh? You like candy fun? Yeah. I got a dance out of that. Hey, here's Andre. Can you say thank you to Andre?
Thank you. And what about the 50?
That's a $5. That's for a question for somebody else. But yes, you could say thank you to them too. You want to say thank you to
thank
SF?
You.
Yeah.
Even if it was meant for me.
Even if it wasn't meant for you. Andre said that's lip gloss money. That's awesome too.
Lip gloss.
Hey, can you wish somebody a happy birthday? Can you wish Sean?
Birthday to you.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to Sean. Happy birthday to you. There you go. There you look. You got a song there. Hey, Sherry sent $5. Can you say thank you there?
Thank you.
Said hug you. You're adorable. Oh man,
yeah.
Are you adorable?
Yes, I am cute. Oh. You always say I'm cute.
Oh yeah, I do say you're cute. Hey, Sister Sal sent you $10. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
It's candy funds for the lady there too.
I want to go. Where are we going to Murfreesboro?
I don't know. We'll have to go down there one day.
Yeah, because we haven't been there in a while.
I've been there, but you haven't been in a minute.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, I need to take you all down there. All right. Did you want your device back? That way you can down here?
What is it?
Whoa, that fell. All right. Hey, this is 100%. Hand me that and I'll plug it up.
We'll see if it still works, because we always
it's dead. It's dead, dude.
No, like if it's I hope that didn't.
It didn't hurt her at all. It
didn't leave a scratch.
It's mine anyway. So, hey, can you say thank you to Bradley? Bradley the Sloth said, there's money for you cleaning your room. Woohoo! Yep, she's been on the cleaning too, haven't you? You've been cleaning?
Yeah, it's in a box.
Yeah. And
do you want to tell them that I'm in a box?
Yeah, I was on the phone earlier, and there's a big box by the door, where we've been emptying stuff, and it moved because somebody was laying inside of it like a crazy person and scared the Jesus out of me.
Hey, I did that. I got a box. At least I can have a box. Like if I want to play hide and seek, I can hide that box.
You definitely hid and scared the crap out of me.
I can say sissy.
Who's your daddy? Send two. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
So that's for your dentist fund for all that candy.
My dinner.
Hey, S. Sean said $10. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
They said share with your sissy.
Share with my sissy in Murfreesboro.
In I'm hearing a lot about Murfreesboro.
I'm saving my money actually for it.
Oh, is that what you're saving up for? Yeety here. Sent two. Can you say thank you? Yep, they said bug. You gotta get that room clean, so that's so you can have that.
We need a beat.
All right. Hey, you need to go upstairs so we can have our show. Okay. Take your phone though. Oh, you can have a pen too. Yeah, it's a pencil actually, but
yeah, it's a pencil. No, it clicks.
I know it's a mechanical pencil.
Yeah, those pencils.
Yeah, it's a pencil.
I like those pencils.
All right, we'll take it with you.
I like how they're different colors on the outside, but not on the inside.
That's right. All right. Well, you can have it. Go play with it. Okay.
Okay.
Close the door. Okay.
Okay.
Love you. What a nut. All right. Love you too. Close the door.
Enjoy it, brother. Enjoy it, because time
I know
flies.
the other one now is like, she's the direct opposite now. She's like, my room, my time. She keeps telling me, even though she's 12, she's like, I'm 13 now. I'm like, you are not 13 yet. She's like, oh,
yeah, she's pushing that teen rebellion. She's
you see it. You can see it coming out. And it's like, well, okay. But the document, see, every document we get has, here's the big problem. Okay, like let's take this filing. Here, well, give me 1 minute. Just give me a second. Let me pull up something. All right. So you have everything that she puts out. Well, here's a good document for this. Here's a great example. This series, right, where she's responding to Hales and responding about the automatic stay, and they're asking for money. This would be Doc 92. It's 14 pages. All right. Now I'm going to skip instead of you having to watch me jump over 19 pages. It will have.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to bore everyone to death with it. They can watch me skip 19 pages. But here you'll notice again, it's our 14 pages. It's Doc 92. And on this, they're saying this is the list of people that are getting notified about this. So all of these people are supposed to be told what's going on. They're all supposed to be getting mailings from this.
Oh,
and Travis is one of them.
There's Deanna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, all of them. Here, let's pull up the new list. The new list has got a few other names. So let's check it all out. I mean, it's got a few place names, I'm going to say, more than I think everybody. I think everything else is the same besides places. But
now, are they? Let's see. Well, we don't know if Jeremy's getting the letters, but we know that Randy probably is, right?
I have no idea. I don't know who's getting. I'll follow up and ask, because I mean they're so involved. His law team is that
right.
I mean, there's an assumption with that. It's kind of a heavy assumption too.
Could it be just participants that have lawyers are getting,
That's not how it's supposed to work.
Right. It's not supposed to be how it works. That's what it's seeming like. Because Travis is acting surprised. Deanna, we don't know if she's getting served or not, but I'm sure if she was, she would be sitting in on these meetings, I would imagine.
Well,
Deanna, huh?
So, I mean, everybody on here, if they've added them in some way, shape, or form, some people they've noted too, he was added by accident. I don't know. What they're trying to do here is they're trying to say anyone that's going to bring a future lawsuit, potentially, they've added them. They're trying something so crazy. Like, again, imagine this with a company. Say a drug company is going to launch a brand new medication. Now, they always get sued about crap like that. It always happens, eventually. So what they would do ahead of time, if you could go and preempt this kind of stuff, say I could write it off beforehand, you would go in with your company, you would file bankruptcy for protections right off the bat, and you would list every citizen in the United States so none of them could ever sue you.
This is the one thing that's drove me nuts throughout this whole bankruptcy thing. Filing people as creditors that you do not owe money to. Just because they may sue you down the road. Oh, who
may become, in the wording. Well,
why aren't you and I on there? Okay, we could potentially sue down the road. Why aren't we on there? So is it you can just add anybody you want to?
What's even more telling about that is, why aren't we listed in a different way? We keep being told that we're all going to get sued. We're going to get sued by her for blah, blah, blah. Well, she didn't add us on to any of this to inform the bankruptcy courts that she was thinking about suing us.
So she could just add anybody she wants, whether they owe her money or not, or whether she owes her money.
That's not exactly, again, they're selling the idea that you can do this, but the idea is redonkulous. It is the dumbest idea ever. I mean, if you could do this, if you could go in and write, again, why wouldn't everyone do something like that?
Right. Like you said, these big pharmaceutical companies, why wouldn't they just file bankruptcy right out of the gate so they couldn't get sued down the road? I don't know anything about bankruptcy, but this stuff is absolutely mind-blowing that these people are suing people for what might happen.
Yeah, well, they are trying to write off the debt for what might happen. They're trying to report some of it, and then on top of it, they're trying to do the thing. Like I said, it's absurdity. It's absolute freaking absurdity, and they know it's absurdity too. I mean, ultimately, they do. They know it's absurdity.
So, did Travis elaborate on any of this, or was he just completely shocked?
Travis you could tell, again, he had no idea why he was getting any type of mailing. He got a mailing out of there. Again, the title of it, if he'd been getting it all the time, the reaction that he had, you can tell that he would have already had one of these streams, first of all.
Right.
So, again, with him just popping off like, hey, I got sent this thing by her lawyers. And then for him to go through what he didn't understand about it. And that's not his fault, by the way, not understanding this, but this stuff is basic. He should have gotten a bunch of them. So again, you can just tell, like he popped off the, when he got sent it. In fact, I mean, you just get the feeling that he probably thought at first anyway, hey, somebody else is trying to sue me, like the trespass 5.
So like I said, this is mind blowing. This was all okay. She dropped the first one and then they refiled to go.
No, they didn't drop. They did it wrong the first time and it got kicked. And then they had to go in and they had to appeal for, to try it again.
So, and that was what, back in July when they came back with the second one?
I think it was. Exactly. I'd have to look at the docket.
I think it was around June or July. They came back in with the second one because the other one had been kicked or done. But So Travis is he hasn't known about this since mid last year.
He definitely doesn't understand that he's listed this way. And like I said, that's not his fault. It means he hasn't been apprised or informed. So he hasn't been given document. He just gets something out of the blue. He has gotten one of these documents out of the blue finally. And I don't know which document it is that he got. He holds it up. But again, he thinks with this, he doesn't know whether or not he's supposed to show it. You can just, like I said, you can tell from, and when he's bringing up the lawyer's name as well, he doesn't know who that lawyer is.
No. Well, that just shows you right there. When he's around Jeremy, they talk about other things besides this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did talk about it, he would be more informed, but I feel bad for him. I mean, think about it. When the Trespass 5 case was going on, he was never served anything.
Right. Yeah, he was very confused by, you're sitting here in legal limbo too. I mean, essentially, he was served, as someone else said, he was told that he was going to be served because of blah, blah, blah. He was going to get in trouble because of Lloyd's trailer. And
right.
From there, he had been waiting around wondering what's going to happen. He ends up getting something from that. And it turns out to be what? Nothing. He hears about he's getting sued. And then he said with that the reason he found out about the Trespass 5 is because we all talked about it. That's how he found out. He didn't find out from getting paperwork or anything. He was never served, but I mean, nothing was ever delivered to him at all. So with people running around, which is interesting because you had everyone from the Fats to Lynette to Bruce, all these people, running their mouths about the law, but they didn't even bother to hunt down the damn people that they said that they were going to go after. Like, I never understood why they put that lawsuit into play. And they waited.
I could understand how this would just blow his mind. I mean, think
about
it.
Scare you. You think you're being sued again,
Yeah, he's never been served anything. And then out of the blue, here comes this creditor's letter. And he's like, what?
Yeah, from a lawyer he's never seen. Because he doesn't, you can tell from his reaction to it, he doesn't know who this person is. That tells you, like you were saying with Jeremy, okay, well, that conversation, it also has never needed to happen. There's never been a reason for them to have a conversation about, hey, who is this guy here? Before this, I don't know if he cleared this up with Hales or whom. I have no idea.
I hope he
on
did.
That level.
I hope
that's one of the reasons.
Hey,
I thought it would be. Well, I thought it would be a good lead topic for you and I to discuss, because also it would be something, we could perhaps set Travis's mind at ease,
right?
With
right,
it.
Right.
Like he's not in trouble with this.
No,
I mean,
there's no way.
You're not necessarily in trouble, but you don't have to go out and queue up representation or anything like that. But the one thing that I'm really wondering about complaining to that court again, who is getting mailings? See, Lynette Preston, when she was talking to Tina, she made it very clear that she was the one doing all the work, that her lawyer wasn't doing. He was doing two things: jack shit. That's what he was doing. No lot of nothing,
Right.
And
now, if Travis is in the chat or if he's listening, dude, you ain't got nothing to worry about. This is basically saying that she owes you money. Okay. You're not getting sued by this woman. This is her saying that she owes you money down the road if you sued her. So he's not looking at any kind of being in trouble for anything, in my opinion, anyway. What you think?
Well, I mean, period, being added to this potentially, they're trying to play it two ways. They're trying to say that in the future they want to write off anything that he could potentially sue for and collect. Right. And on top of that, they're reporting, hey, potentially I might try to sue this person too later on.
Oh,
so I would,
Okay.
like I said, I would definitely I would want to find out about my rights about objecting to all this shit, though, because there's no way in the world that I would want that on cruise control, with them being able to just set that tone with it. Now, forget all that.
Now, have you ever been through a bankruptcy, Tug?
I have, but you've never had anything like this, I mean, at the time, I didn't have shit.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Did you have all of this kind of stuff, creditors meetings and, all this,
you have creditors meetings, but typically it's just, the thing that she's doing with this that is unusual is that she's adding another element. I mean, usually you're talking about banking institutions, places you've borrowed money from, medical institutions, potentially, stuff like that. And nobody gives a shit about any of that stuff.
Right.
And it's almost automatic. Like most of the creditors meetings and stuff, nobody's showing up and bothering with anything. Like they don't give you a hassle. They and when you're going through with the trustees, they're typically not even really going over that much either. They're not looking to hem you up. But the problem with Lynette Preston is a lot of her stuff has been majorly wrong, and she's added in this other element, which is totally it's wrong, it's false, and she's done it in my opinion as part of this whole malicious process.
Well, I think it's Bubbles and them convincing her to do things that normal people wouldn't do. She's got no grounds for any of this stuff that she's tried doing in the past.
Regardless of who convinced you, I mean, ultimately, the blame is going to be hers. And of course, she'll try to, when she gets hemmed up, she's going to try to blame it on these people. Right. But I mean, she's to blame. She's to answer. Nobody else in the courtroom is going to answer for her stupid.
Right. At the end of the day, like you said, she's absolutely 100% responsible for all of this. And this is one of the things I find so funny about this whole thing is we were talking about this on stream the other day. And with this McMullen team that comes in doing the investigation, and then you got the other team that does the legal side of it, she could be looking at thousands of dollars she's going to be responsible for if it goes the way she doesn't want it to go.
Oh yeah. She's looking at property that she's looking at losing everything. And, that money, I'm wondering personally for them to start playing nice. It's either a pretend game for Ohio or they've told her that they can somehow protect her money. And, they've been trying to shield that for her, and she may be under the opinion that, hey, they can get me some of that money later on. And yeah, that's a big no-no.
Right.
It's a big no-no.
When it comes to her, I think they dingle that money carrot in front of her nose, and they can say anything they want to convince her as long as there's money attached to it. And I think that's what's going to hurt her even worse is that greed aspect of it.
Well, she has definitely been ignorant, let's say, of everything that could potentially go wrong. She's been wrong to a level that I would stop and start asking outside. She's never spoken to anyone outside of the ecosystem with these lawyers. She has never asked another attorney.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, some of the stuff I've seen these guys talk about, and knowing Lynette's listening to these people, she needs to talk to someone that's outside of this bubble of theirs, because this bubble is only out for one thing, and they're using her, in my opinion, they're using her for a test dummy with this bankruptcy stuff.
Oh yeah, well, before when it was coming up, absolutely. I mean, when they were talking about it, they were all celebrating the idea that they could do this too.
Right, right.
And then they suddenly figured out wait a minute, this is a terrible idea. How did they figure that out? Oh, because of Preston's very bad fortune, and how this stuff is going. Because a lot of, I mean, the reality of it too is, again, she may do all of this stuff and get nothing for it on return. Like that's the biggest FU possible, in my opinion. She goes out, she ends up losing everything, but she gets nothing written off. She gets her basic debts written off, but she's not going to write off all this other stuff.
Well, what happens if, she gets her debts written off, but yet the debts aren't enough to cover the 40% that this McMullen team
they can't
charge right off the top?
No, they don't charge. See, they take the money from.
Right.
So if they recover $1, then they don't get to charge you for anything.
Right.
But so that's why they're so gung ho. Like when the FATs were saying $100,000, it was never mentioned. No, but you know what? They mentioned any asset that wasn't noted, because any asset, they get 40 cents on the dollar. Plus, they get their expenses. They get any type of expert that they have to bring in, to audit that. If they got to track down that $100,000 and see where it is, they're very keen on it. So they don't get any money. Like they don't get to drop a bill on you. And that's why they're bloodhounds. Like they want to get paid.
Well, I think I misspoken. You got the two firms. Okay. You got McMullen that take the 40% off the top. Okay. Obviously, Lynette, they're only going to get paid 40% off of the top of what they collect. But you also have the Bender team. Now, I don't think they're working on contingency with the Bender team, right? The legal side of it.
Yeah, it all kind of works together. They have an expense. Let me pull up the documents. Give me a second.
Because I know it came to like $670 an hour between the lawyer, the clerk, and then the legal assistants.
That's assuming that there's one. So that's an assumption of just one. Yeah, it would
one
be
of each.
Yeah. And, here's the thing with that main lawyer. Oh, you always have a team under you. And they're usually not like one person that's working for you. It's usually, an entire team. And especially if they think that they can recover some decent assets, and again, potentially $100,000. If nothing else, them running down that. Now, the question is there money, period? Is there anything left to recover? But
that's a tricky question right there. I mean, we all know there's already been $56K stated straight out of the horse's mouth that gave it to them.
Yep.
And then we have Fleece over here. Oh, we've collected that much in more donations. So what does that do? That doubles that. So you're looking at $112,000 right there. Now she keeps saying, no, ain't no $112,000. Well, it's if you said you collected 56 and more on top of that to double it, that's a lot of money. And that was collected in whose name? That barn. And who owns the barn?
Yeah, that's true. That is 100% true. Well, in the money, ultimately, they want to play like it's an item it was collected in the name of, which is absurdity. You didn't collect $100,000 for the barn. You collected it for the people to have a livable place, whether it was what you said with a fence, whether it was for it, all goes together. You can't pick and choose and then say the money's mine in the aftermath. It's the same reason that people get in trouble with GoFundMes. That's why, like, if you put together a GoFundMe, you would be better off signing that thing over to the other person, and being like, here's your GoFundMe,
Right.
Because they could come after you for some reason. And we've seen that happen too. We've seen a lot of accusations of some pretty heinous stuff over time, with some of these folks. And we just saw some people potentially going to jail over, over misuse of GoFundMe. So
right,
these people have screwed up, man.
You know, as many bad things that Lynette and Crook have done, sometimes I feel sorry for them, and then I step back and I say, you know what? No, no, not going to do it. I mean,
yeah, you have to be careful with that. You know, you really do.
Right. I mean, I just don't see how they can listen to these people that's getting them in trouble, in my opinion.
But you know why they can, though? Because they thought it would make them rich.
Yeah.
They thought that they would be able to take money from other people and enrich themselves. And instead, they got played, you know, and they got played on multiple levels. They got played on the idea of the get-rich scheme for, like, the thumbnail lawsuit was a get-rich quick scheme, in my opinion. They, if you read through them discussing, when they're talking about Larry, they talk about Larry changing the thumbnails. And even if Larry changed the thumbnails, she was like, so I'm not going to get my money? And BBB was like, no. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, no. We're going to go after him anyway. So even if he would have complied, which he actually, interestingly, did change the thumbnails. So when he went in, you know, that they would... I'm wondering, even they would have had a valid legal argument, which they absolutely didn't. But even if they did, he tried to save time. He gave them what they asked for, but they never intended on any kind of good faith effort with that anyway.
Oh, so even though he changed them, you think that they would have tried going forward?
Oh, they said it. Bruce and her, they talked about it. They said it didn't matter. Because she was worried about if he changed it, that he, you know, Shara posted messages where they were talking about this. And she was like, oh, so if he does this, I won't get my money. And he's basically telling her, hey, don't worry about that. We're going after him anyway.
Well, yeah. I think they thought they were going to get settled. I think they were going, they thought they were going to push Jeremy against the wall and Larry and all these guys. And then they would just get a settlement and walk away. I don't think they ever thought that they were going to have a legal battle on their hands.
I think that I wonder how ignorant of the law certain people are. Because when I hear the ecosystem discuss law, many of the things they say, it blows my mind. Because just as an outsider, you know, you're like, I mean, again, the safe harbor period. They didn't understand that was a thing, you know, which blows my mind. They also, you know, again, we've heard from different ones, depending on when they're talking, you know, whether it's protective orders or unlicensed practice of law. I mean, we've heard some really stupid things, you know, depending on who you listen to. Sometimes all you hear is stupid things. But we've heard some, you know, even from, I would say Bruce was their best lawyer. And that, you can take that as a compliment, but I don't know if you do really. But he was their best lawyer. He would get some stuff, you know, right in it. And he would get some stuff wrong in it too. Like, again, the safe harbor period was a big one that he was wrong about. And it ended up costing some money on the back end. I believe he was wrong about the bankruptcy, and I think we will be proven right in that. But, you know, again, he called a few things right. But, you know, some of these idiots, they're batting zero.
Right. I mean,
pretty amazing.
I'm no lawyer, you know, but when I look at this stuff, I look at it and try and look at it as common sense. Okay. Put my spin on it with common sense. You know, is this right or this wrong? And some of the common sense that it's like I'll read a law or I'll read something in these motions that I agree with and I understand to a point. But then when you listen to the other side talk about it, it's completely wrong. It's completely different.
Well, and, I mean, you know, things like, again, like something basic. First of all, here's the kicker. You may not be a lawyer, but neither is Paint Chips. Neither is Leslie. They're not lawyers either. You know, they supposedly understand law, and it's frightening to me that they have told people about law, especially like Lips. It terrifies me that person practiced law. Holy God. I hope her staff was knowledgeable, because otherwise, oh my God. I really wish we could get a hold of her, her arguing a case. I bet that would be the funniest thing ever.
Well, have they ever even seen the inside of a courtroom is what I'm asking, because it sounds like from all the stuff I've read, most of their stuff has been fought and battled in motions and settled or dismissed. I don't think they've ever been in I don't know. They might have been in
the early days. I'm pretty sure they've been in a courtroom. Like, we've seen a few items here and there. Now, stuff that has been aimed at them specifically, like, you know, where they're having these all these new problems, not so much. Like,
it's crazy. I mean, I try and give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but I don't care how many pieces of paper you have that say you graduated from something. It's the way you act. You don't act like a lawyer, or especially a lawyer that knows anything.
If you lost the ability to practice, you apparently weren't very good at what you did, you know?
Right.
So I'm just going to say that, you know, but I have seen some, you know, I've seen people. Now, it depends on why you lose it too. You know, if you lose it over substance use, drunk driving, something like that. Oh, okay. You know, if you lose it over fraudulent bullshit where you fuck over your clients, or you lose it because you're just so inept, like, maybe we should listen to you. You know, if you're fighting your personal demons out there, that's one thing. That doesn't really point at me, negating you right off the bat. You know, that's what I mean.
Right.
You know, but
well, you take Leslie, for instance. She's constantly preaching, you know, I'm a lawyer. You don't listen to people that aren't lawyers. Hun, you gave up your law license. You're not a lawyer.
You're not a lawyer. That's exactly it. You know, well, I went to law school. Oh, wow. You know, ooh, that's amazing.
Well, obviously, if you were any good at it, you'd still be a lawyer.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
I mean,
I don't know. It's mind-boggling.
I have seen some very knowledgeable people that don't practice law that understand the hell out of it. And I've seen the reverse. I have seen people that do or have practiced law that are very bad at it. You know, look at the Stark mess. I mean, that absolute disaster of a freaking case and what it went with. You had a name on paper, but as far as Stark is concerned, he seemed like an awful lawyer. And if you look up his reviews and stuff, they were awful. You know, just because you went to law school and managed to pass the bar, like, that does not mean that you were ever good at what you did.
Well, think about it. According to Bubbles and according to all of these people involved on that side of the fence, they spent months and months looking for lawyers to take up the case for Lynette. And they couldn't find anyone, because normal lawyers know that there was nothing there to fight for, in my opinion. Just my opinion.
Well, what's funny is they've been bragging about how they've been recruiting, and they may have found a YouTuber to pick up the cause. You know, they've been talking about them. I'm not going to throw them in here, right, because I'm like, well, you know, because they had a lawsuit where essentially, I'm going to paraphrase this person, they called out, I'm going to say business scammers. You know, you run across those all over, these crypto get rich assholes out there. And this person called one out, and they spent 5 years in a freaking lawsuit because of that. They're trying to compare their litigation. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think you're telling them about the protective orders or the signs or the threats or the, you know, feeding you to alligators. I don't think you're telling them about what's going on. I don't think you're telling them on the other people about how many people, you know, the fact that vexatious litigant, you know, you've sued everyone from your own family members to, you know, the people who worked for you, your own clients, the bar itself. I mean, you know,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's absolutely insane that I guarantee they are not telling the whole story when they're looking for these lawyers.
Oh no, nor are they introducing who some of these players are. You know, if you were to tell me that when I went to cover something that I might be, rubbing shoulders with somebody that, it went in and defrauded and did, some strong-armed extortion and all this other shit, be like, yeah, I probably don't want to be teamed up with that. Yeah.
Right on. Now, please tell me it is not Nick Rekieta, because I'm actually liking the dude.
What, Nick? No.
Yeah,
no,
please
Nick
tell
was
me.
talked about. No. Nick, Nick actually is somebody that he will talk to them and stuff, of course.
Right.
But as far as this stuff, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to know who it is, just as long as it's not Nick, okay? Because I'm actually liking the guy.
No, Nick is somebody we've known for a long time. Like, he's just, he enjoys a good shit show like the rest of us.
Oh, he's hilarious. I've been watching him for a couple weeks now, and I got to thank you and Megan for talking about him, because I never even knew he existed. And I'm not really into it for the law part of it. I just like to listen to him because he's funny. He entertains.
He's an ass. That's what he. Let's be honest. There, I like him. He's got a good wit about him, and he can be fun. But he has a biting sense of humor.
JJ Bean.
Well, he's somebody that they thought when they brought in specific people that they could stifle any kind of conversation, because some people are just so awful. And they thought, oh, when they bring this person in, they'll muscle people into silence. And that doesn't work with some people,
Right.
Like, I talk about, like, for myself, I don't give a shit. But, there are people like Rekieta are much more vocal and I'm going to say mean sometimes, like a middle school mean, which is, I don't mean as a negative, but
Right.
I just think it's funny.
I kind of hate to say it, but he reminds me in a way of old Howard Stearns. Howard would get downright
old
nasty
Stern before, yeah.
Yeah. Back in the beginning, he would downright get on you. But I'm not saying he is Howard Stearns. He just reminds me of that stick,
Back in that day, the old shock jock. Yeah.
Yeah, up in your face. Here, let's just talk about it.
Yeah. No, that's you want people that push the envelope. See, these people in this have confused the idea. Free speech doesn't come with threats. It doesn't come with threats of harm and these other things. There's a line. There is a line. Free speech also doesn't come with you calling up people's platforms that they're on, trying to get them banned and more. Again, there is a line to it, and these people conflate everything they do with the free speech argument. Now, being an ass, though, like calling someone fat or stupid or ugly or just whatever, that's 100% free speech. Right. I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to not like a person, and I'm not obligated, as I like to say. People are essentially telling you have to be nice, but you're not obligated to nicety ever. I can be
they tend to forget that certain little part of the First Amendment that talks about fighting words. Yeah. Okay, that's what gets them in trouble when they don't know the difference between, like you said, calling somebody fat or ugly or dumb. But when you get into the fighting words aspect of it, where it turns into threats and talking about unaliving people and stuff like that, that's where it draws the line. That's where your free speech goes out the window, in my opinion. Because you can't just walk around telling, "Oh, I'm going to unalive this person." It's insane.
Oh, and some of the things some of them have mailed to people, and other. Oh God, there's just. Wait a second. Give me 1 second. No, never mind. She yelled something down the steps and then closed the door back. I think she just said,
"Okay,
hey, what you doing?" And then closed the door back.
Here's some candy. Keep yourself fed, Tug.
Yeah, I'm surprised that doesn't happen. You know, see
Okay,
gummy bears raining down the steps.
You got to tell me about the mouse. Did she have a stash in the bedroom with candy?
Oh yeah, that's what it was. You know, and she'd stash things so Sissy wouldn't find out about it. You know, of course, and the first time she's very good at stashing things and just hiding it away, you know, somewhere, and she gets smarter about it. So
now, does she forget where she stashes it?
Well, she crazy places. Like she had this stuffed animal, for example, and it had gotten torn at one time, you know. So what did she do? She gutted it and put her candy inside of it. So her sister wouldn't find out about it. You know, I mean, just stuff like that. So she's creative. You know, that's her value, you know, her thing she likes.
All right, chat, you heard it. She needs new stuffed animals to gut, so she has a place to hide candy.
I was just like, what the world? I mean, did I just find a candy stash inside of a stuffed animal?
She's what, 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there?
6, yeah.
And to have the mentality to snatch all the stuffing out of a stuffed animal and hide candy in it, that's genius level right there.
I mean, well, it's the same thing. When I was a little kid, I would not have thought I want a refrigerator, so it legitimizes my claim to, you know, whatever. That way, like say my sibling or somebody, they want something. No, it's in my refrigerator. It's legitimately mine. You know, you can't argue. It's not mine. I just wouldn't have thought that way. But she does.
She'll bug his part squirrel.
Oh man, she's got her legal argument down already, you know. She's like, oh, well, possession, you know, this defines possession.
All right, I've derailed you long enough on the bug. Oh my goodness, sorry about that.
No, it's a good man. You know,
it just amazes me when she comes in the room to talk. I mean, she's a little person and she talks so well.
Yeah, she's a smart kid, you know, and she being small too, you know, she's got to be the one that argues everything, you know, because Sissy's bigger than her. So if she wanted to take some, she's the loudest too, you know, because Sissy may be bigger and could, like I said, she could just take something away from her. But I'll be, you know, she's like, I'll be damned if that happens. She's the loudest. She can yell and scream the loudest.
Right.
It's funny to listen to her too. You know? Yeah. God, you can hear them sometimes. You know, you could tell like over the littlest thing. And she would be like, "What Sissy told me?" Now I hear you know, it sounds like World War III broke out. I'm like, what is going on? Sissy told me no, I couldn't have something. It's like, good God, it sounds like somebody being killed up here. You know?
Right.
Oh, let's see though. So the bankruptcy thing, like I said, I think that's pretty interesting. I mean, when you ask the question, and I guess we're going to have to ask this question and start contacting people about who has or hasn't been contacted. You know?
Right. It would be interesting to see how many people creditors on that list, because they made the list, right?
Yeah, and they're responsible for upkeep of again, they're telling the court every time when they make that list, when they add it to a document each time, they're telling the court, I have mailed this to people. I am sending this every time. So they are telling them that this is happening.
Okay, so for instance, say, just for grins and giggles, Travis, this is the first time he's ever been contacted. What course of action does he have with this bankruptcy court as far as the trustee goes?
Well,
I mean, does he have actionable stuff to go in there and say, hey, look, these people are not contacting me, but yet I'm put on this paperwork. What's the deal?
I don't know. I don't know the next answer to that. You know, this is like, again, I wasn't even thinking about asking this, you know, in that moment. I hadn't even thought to really, you know, and I guess that's my bad because I definitely should have, you know, because that's taking them at their word. And especially, you know, with Lynette, I mean, she got so many bases. She got the evaluation of her vehicle in the main documentation. She got that wrong. She got so many things wrong that, should have looked at it from the beginning and said, every piece of this is questionable. But those basic, and especially, with lawyers too, that have had some real problems, like not in just the past, but the recent past, maybe we should be questioning every single thing about it. But I don't know. I think I'm going to ask that question now. I'm going to see exactly, what the follow-up. Like I said, you can tell though, with Travis' reaction, he thought he was getting sued again. That's
Right.
just, yeah, you could just see it on there. And he had no idea who Saran Wrap was. I mean, with that lawyer name, if he had seen it, if he'd seen that name before, he wouldn't have treated it like it was a state secret or a mystery or something. We would already had, you could tell by the way he responded, we would already had a video like that. But we didn't, We've
Well, now
never had it.
Travis could wind up, not everybody is, how can I say this? Okay, if I got in a piece of paper like that, and that's the first time I'd ever heard from these people, like you said, it would freak a person out. Could we potentially see pain and suffering down the road for Travis? Maybe. I mean, think about it. If he's worried about being sued because he's not been contacted by any of these people,
I would think more about. I would think this would be more on the line of because the lawyer's some problems for sure. Because if he's telling the courts, I mean, can you sue a person over something? Yes. You can sue them over anything. Would that be the method I would think it'd go? No,
Right.
not that method. I mean, it takes a lot more than to say, oh, this freaked me out, therefore. I mean, if you wanted to go after somebody for pain and suffering, for example, you're going to have to go and legitimize that claim. You don't have to be going to doctors and, or like a shrink or something and establish. I don't see Travis going that method.
No. Well, I'm just trying to figure out, this has obviously got to be weighing on his mind. And for the fact of it is that they've not contacted him up until now. And this has been going on since June, July of last year. And out of the blue, you would think that, like you said, the lawyer would be ultimately Lynette would be, but the lawyer would probably get a nice slap on the wrist for something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it's funny though, they all keep dropping her in the jackpot too. I mean, Lynette's like, she's screwed in all of this. I kind of love it because at the end of the day, Lynette, she has banked so much on so many things happening. And look at where she is now. I love to bring this point up. Lynette, she cannot be a smart person because if she was, she would look at this and think, I started out thinking I was going to get rich. And now I'm hoping that when I lose everything, my property and more, that somebody can buy it up that might actually be able to give it back to me. And B, that I can write off any future problems that I have with litigation and stuff. That she's gone from, hey, I'm going to get rich to, I hope I can stop the damage right here.
Well, look at that list of creditors. And there's so many on there that aren't big corporations like Deanna, Travis, Jerry, all these guys, and she's got to wonder, how bad did I screw? I think they're overcomplicating it.
Well, it's a stupid argument. They've made they should never have gone this route because this route is going to cost her and she's not going to be able to pull out of it.
Well, think about it. Your normal stuff like your cell phone bills that you don't have, you didn't pay for, and your bank notes you didn't pay. I understand going after those for debt relief, but Travis and Deanna, that she owes no money to. Now, granted, you got
even if she did, okay. There's this thing about like the question that should be asked is, can you write off something that was done with malice? And the answer is no. So let's just ask that for AIs as a question, because there's the whole point. If I owe money in a bankruptcy if I owe a company, like there was a settlement again against a cell phone provider, that's debt, you know,
Right.
but it's how the debt was accrued. Like if Jeremy Hales, where she owes money for Jeremy, for example, for a protective order, that's something done with malice, with malicious intent. You can't write that off. You can't go out and say, I'm going to burn your house down and then say, oh, no liability for me. Sucker. You know, that doesn't work that way.
Well, as of right now, it's $3,350 in Ohio. She owes $3,000 to Jeremy's lawyer and then $350 to the courts. And like you said, there's the malice. She created that problem.
Yeah.
She's earned every bit of the fines that she's got in the lawyer's fees. But then you take, it baffles me with how can you ask for debt relief on something that you have never been, lost a case over. I mean, I'm going crazy with this. It baffles me every time I think about it. Like Travis, for instance. Travis never sued her. She doesn't owe Travis any money. Okay, potential lawsuits down the road. How can you sue for the future?
I asked the question of ChatGPT. Again, you got to always remember it is AI answering, but still, it can always be funny with it too.
Right.
I said, can you write off something bankruptcy that was done with malice? For example, money awarded with a violation of a protective order. You know, can you do that? And it was like, well, short answer, no. Bankruptcy is not a magic etch-a-sketch for being malicious. Now, the long answer is, can I wipe out a malicious behavior in bankruptcy? Absolutely not. This is not The Purge, Chapter 11 edition.
There you go.
Bankruptcy forgives being broke, not being a jerk on purpose. I think that's a perfect example there.
Yeah.
You can't go out and you can't ruin another person's life intentionally. You can, I don't have money. You can do that with, it's the same thing with a lot of people don't realize this, even with the IRS, if say you had some great business going along, you had a problem, you lost everything, they have a cannot collect status. So, we don't have debtors' prisons. Now, fraud will get you sent to prison, but not being broke. So that's what it's noting with that. Now, if money was awarded because someone violated a protective order, acted willfully, maliciously, with intent, or ignored a court like it was a spam email, that's funny, then bankruptcy looks at the debt and says, oh, this wasn't an accident. You meant to do it. Cool. You're keeping that bill. So translation into plain English, it says, bankruptcy is for medical bills, bad business decisions, or oops, the economy collapsed. It's not for, I knew I wasn't allowed to do this and did it anyway, or the judge told me not to do it, so I doubled down, or I violated a protective order, but hope bankruptcy, I could activate it like a cloaking device. Man, hey, I can be funny with this. Courts hate this one trick. If a debt comes from willful and malicious conduct, judges, they don't really debate it. They don't sigh. They don't squint. They go, yeah, no, that stays. You can't yell bankruptcy like it's a Pokemon move and expect the consequences to faint. Imagine it says the judge leaning back and saying, sir or ma'am, bankruptcy is a financial reset, not a personality reboot. That's a good note too. It's supposed to be about financially resetting, not rebooting your personality.
Gotcha. So you think that Lynette's probably sitting there wondering, man, why did I do this?
No, she's not smart enough. She's not smart enough to ask the proper questions. She's sitting around thinking that she has made this penultimate decision, and she's not asking why these geniuses. See, I asked her this too. She's always got an excuse. I asked her, have you talked to somebody outside of the ecosystem of these people? Have you ever talked to a lawyer outside? I don't have any money. Well, you can get a consultation for free. Or shit, as many people as you all have written and bothered, why don't you ask them, hey, is this a good thing I'm doing? Is it smart? Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're great, man. I'm listening. That that reminds me of a commercial I heard from Morgan and Morgan today. And they were talking about lawyers, ambulance chasers, the ones that come looking for you and how it's against the law.
Yeah.
Lynette, maybe you need to talk to Morgan and Morgan about some of these lawyers you've hired or have worked pro se for you.
Not just that. She made some statements about certain people that aren't supposed to be giving legal advice, telling her about things she could do legally.
Oh.
Yeah. See, what's going to happen is, she, though, is one of those what have you done for me lately kind of people. She turns on people at a whim, and she will turn on these people. Ultimately, when she has nothing left, she will turn on these people. And it's just like before when she thought she could get a dime out of it, she turns on John Cook for free every day.
I don't understand why that guy's still around. I mean, is he that bad off that he needs this in his life? I mean, come on. The woman has called him some horrendous things and accused him of some horrendous things, and he's still right there. Go ahead.
And she doesn't stop accusing him of awful things. That's the kicker I don't really understand. It's not that she accused him of the past. She accuses him all the time. She, like I said, she talked to me about him. I would be so pissed. These people can deny publicly like reality, but they know. They absolutely know that stuff. It's otherwise they would sue. Otherwise they would 100% come out and they would sue because of me saying that, I'd talk to her. But you notice they're not doing that because they know better. They absolutely know it's real.
You've got to hand it to her, though. Her pattern of behavior of when she gets mad at you, it stays the same. You're either evil or you've done something bad. Huh?
Well, you're an abuser. It's like when she turned on Shara, showing off those segments. Let me find one real quick.
It's always the same with her. Every time she turns on somebody, it's always the same. Yeah. I mean, look at what happened when her and Fleesa had a falling out.
Oh yeah, she called her an abuser and all kinds of wonderful stuff. And like I said with Shara, so here's her talking about Shara just the other day. She's back in the Fats chat, and they got to have a bad guy. They always got to have some villain to point the finger at. So they, it's like they pick some random person. Like, why Shara? Like, what has Shara done recently? Shara, she, as far as I'm aware, in that little time period there, she hadn't done anything like relatively close to it, but despite that, they get on a Shara kick and she's like, Shara didn't just yell at me. She was abusive to me.
How?
That word. Because apparently with her wanting her to go, hey, again, she's supposed to be they're making claims to her. They're telling her, this has happened or that's happened. So the way I'm reading this, Shara was saying, hey, okay, well, if that's happened, go get a picture of this, show me this or show me that, which you would ask for, apparently, not putting that on permanent pause is abuse,
Wow. Well, I mean, think about it. Shara's in what? Up north, New York, New Jersey, somewhere around there. So if she's acting,
I've never looked at where she's from. Just to,
No,
I know she's talked about it at one time, because these people took aim at her, but I just don't remember.
Well, she's not in Otter Creek, is what I'm getting.
Yeah. That's
so
that 100%.
It's not like she can run and take the picture herself. Right. So she's got to rely on Lynette to do some groundwork when it comes to being in Otter Creek.
And she's doing the right thing too. She's asking questions. When they sell you a narrative at first, like for me, I'll go in and I'll start doing my like the thing with Hales. The thing that struck me right off the bat is you have these two parties that are hurling accusations, right? But Hales is coming with photographs. He has all this, this evidence that backs up things. And this was, in the very beginning. I'm not talking about what I've seen from then on, but with her, you look at these crazy screes that she would write to the court, and and you'd be like, no, no. So you got to think too. One of the first things that she was telling Shara was that all these people conspired to delete, I'm going to say, Russell Meeks. That was one of the first things that, she said that to me. She fucking, in the first conversation we have, she's like talking about Russell Meeks, about how they had plotted to take out Russell Meeks.
Holy cow.
Yeah. She's blaming, I think she's blaming the Grangers with that one. Let's see. Is this it? Yeah, I've got that recorded.
I'm at the point in my life where nothing surprises me with these people.
I mean, this is crazy. You talk about defamation to an insane level. So here, check this out. If you didn't hear this, this is 15 seconds long. But this is her talking to me, and she made the same claim to me. This gives Shara, one of the things they don't like is the fact that if you start cross-collecting evidence, you start looking around, you'll give legitimacy to people like Shara and the claim she couldn't prove at the time. Like the Russell Meeks thing, when she threw that out there, it sounds insane, right? I mean, that sounds absolutely insane when she testified that they were saying there was a conspiracy to do that. Well, here she is saying the same thing to me. Here, I think this is loud. I'm going to turn it down just a little. Go for it. Check this out.
And the lies that Treese Granger said about all the sexual shit, she lied. She lied. And there's a reason Treese and Brett lied. They conspired to kill Russell Meeks.
You hear that? Oh. To me. Yeah. She's like making all these crazy claims. And, they said, though, when Shara noted that, they called her a liar. They said that had never happened, that she had never said, man, she's in the first time she's talking to me within 15 minutes, I believe, in there. She's already dropping there's a conspiracy where they did that. That's why they're liars.
Has this been forwarded to the Grangers? That's
Oh man. Well, when they get into some wonderful litigation points, I think that will be a fun little dilly to bring up,
That's another thing that just fascinates me is the fact that every time you turn
you can't
around,
say that word. Haven't you
fascinating.
I've trademarked that, by the way. What's funny is when 2XL says it, listen to them. It sounds like they say fascinates. Every time they're trying to they try to make fun of it. I always think fascinates. Maybe I should start saying that. That's fascinating.
There you go. There you go. They'll be saying that next. Yeah. I think they got a sound bite of you saying it. I don't know how many times they have it in that sound bite, and I'm like, okay, the man says fascinating. What's your point?
Yeah, well, that's it started out so I wouldn't say certain other words.
Right. I try and watch what I say a lot of times, and I'll come up with some of the stupidest things like bunfuggle, just to keep from saying what I really want to say, which
instead of saying that effed up, I'll be like, that's really fascinating.
No, just about the time you think that they can't do anything worse to hurt them legally, they turn around and boom, now they're wanting to tell people. I mean, you guys have had conversations, you and Lynette, okay? But for her to say something like that, does she understand who you are? It's not like you're the next door neighbor.
I was stunned by so many of the things that she told me outright. I was just like, you've got to be, the whole thing, the groundwork in that, one of the things she was told from go, because again, she reached out to me through an intermediary. She reached out through Tina. She wanted to make contact. One of the things she was told is we're not going to talk about all these other people. That wasn't supposed to be it. We were there to talk about Lisa. That we're talking about the money thing. That way we're not breaking down into disagreement. Because I'm not going to waste my time arguing the logistics of that case. And we're never going to agree on that. So, but we do agree. Like I said, I think it's interesting though that she told Tina that she would play nice with these people until she got finished in Ohio because they were necessary.
Oh,
yeah. So when she got her money like that, I'm talking about right after she got the money from 2L and them. Like, we're not talking beforehand, right after it, because she was asked, hey, you can't trust these people. Like these people screw. Why are you doing this? Well, I need them right now. I'll go after them after it's done. And it's going to be really interesting to see how all of that falls apart yet again.
So when you're talking about money, you're talking for the Ohio lawyer money?
Yeah. So when they popped off that Ohio payment, see, again, the reason, I love this. I love the fact that we knew how the money came up because Lynette had told somebody that, she had basically bragged about it. We knew how they tried to get the money from John's family, but, he went to his mother, but she's not able to take care of herself. So the people that actually control her estate were like, no, the sisters, no. So she ends up talking about in a conversation, she's talking to Brian and Tina, the neighbor, Brian and Tina, right? She's talking to that Tina, and she talks about how she's going to do something like internationally. She's getting only me. He's going to make a statement for her. And apparently that right away, the neighbors, they're such wonderful people that they ran right to the fats, right? Because she's throwing a fit about it. And, right after that, she gets contacted and they work out an arrangement where they'll pay the rest of the attorney fee. Now, we knew about that, but when we were talking about it, again, none of it was public that we actually knew about it. So when I was discussing it back when, I 100% knew that was legit. So when they were sitting on their panel lying about it, I'm just laughing to myself because it's a long freaking, it's the same. It's less journalism and approaching this more like a lawyer. When lawyers ask questions, a good lawyer anyway, they already know the answer. Never ask a question as a lawyer you don't know the answer to.
Right.
Otherwise, that'll harm you. You can fish, you can think you know something, but you don't. You always are working in one way. Well, that's the same thing. We were baiting it to see what the response would be. And the response is typical: deny, lie, and they lied so much. They told their audience, we'd never do that. Lynette, she's garbage and this and that. But as we started talking about after they found out about Tina, you notice they changed. And at first they were like, why are people asking me who paid? Did they ask where Bruce's lawyer came from? And right there, I was like, that's an admission right there.
Yep.
But then they were consigned to the fact people knew. And, while have they admitted it? Sort of. But that you look at how much they lied to their people that provide them money. That's the craziest part of it. And like I said, we already knew that it happened, but the lie was the lie being sold to their audience. That's where they lose people over time with that kind of stuff. Because, when you're telling people that this person is a piece of trash, they're garbage, we can't trust. They were talking again about welfare checks. They're talking about putting each other, you're calling the police on each other. When they go from that to, we gave them thousands of dollars for this, or we did that. Oh, and they tell them too that all the money that was set aside, it's only for these projects, nothing else. Can't be used for anything. Can't get that little girl out of that shed or anything. None of that stuff. And yet they come off money for a lawyer. Yeah.
Well, I was always, as far as the lumber part of it goes with the shed or for the barn, the $56,000 would have put a huge dent in framing out that place and stuff. But then when it doubled, now coming from Lisa, when it doubled, $112,000, that would have almost completely finished out the inside of that barn, if not with some left over.
Well, they said at the beginning, when the money was raised, when Only Me put all that in, they were like, oh, that's enough to finish it, and then suddenly it became not enough to finish. It wasn't even for that anymore.
No, it's for her.
Yeah. But she starts talking about how it's for other projects and stuff. At first, if you go back and you listen to the conversations, when they get that money that comes in, they're talking about how they're talking about all the donation, because they're treating it like it's all one thing. And then, of course, they get the cha-ching in their eyes, and they're like, well, actually, that money's for me.
How could it be for other projects when you collected it in the name of finishing the barn? You didn't say the barn and other stuff. Everybody opened their wallets and said, here.
They didn't break these down into different projects. They put it all together. It didn't happen over like a long drawn out timeline. All of this stuff, it happens pretty much all together. And while they're doing it, they're like, oh, by the way, and oh, by the way, and it all blurs together. But ultimately, again, it's raised in the name of a group of people. Well, really, it's raised in the name of LP and in the name of HG. Now, Only Me has said to John Cook, oh, I give you permission to go get that money. It's not John Cook's money. They didn't raise it in his name. They raised it in LP's name. They are not married or anything else. So he has no claim to that money. It's LP's money.
Like you said, LP and the child. I think, according to Only Me, he donated a lot of money specifically for the child.
Yeah.
If from what I understand,
that's what it was supposed to be for, Right. It was supposed to be about the better, but her as the legal guardian of the child. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So she's the adult. Okay. She's the legal guardian. So yes, it was raised in the name of the child, but ultimately it goes to Lynette for that child.
Yep.
And they want to just say, oh, no, that's my money.
Well, it's nuts to say, I raise, like if I were like, oh, Mr. Coop right here, I'm raising money, for Mr. Coop. Let's build him a fence, Well, if I'm raising money for you and we put together, after we build the fence, that doesn't make the rest of the money mine. Like if we raise $10,000 and put you together a $5,000 fence, that doesn't make the other $5,000 mine.
We're going to have a $5,000 party.
Yeah. For one, and if we agree with what the money is for, and the worst part about it is they sold their audience this idea that they have these people that are in need. They desperately need this stuff.
Right.
And yet they withhold it.
Now, talking about the in need stuff, she constantly, Lynette has said in the past that she's worse off now than she ever was before they all came along. Honestly, I think that's crap, because look at what she has gotten. She's gotten so much money for lawyers. She has got a new Great Wall of Otter Creek in front of her house.
The Great Wall of Otter Creek.
She's got all this stuff. So I'm trying to figure out what part is bad. I mean, she's paid for nothing.
Yeah, well, the lawyer thing, though, at the same time, I think sometimes she has a moment of clarity, and she thinks, I'm still laughing about that Great Wall of Otter Creek. I like that. I'm imagining, you think your Great Wall is so awesome, China. Look what we did in Otter Creek. They can't even box the fucking place in. I've never seen somebody build a privacy fence and it only have one layer.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, now remember, it was supposed to keep prying eyes out, is what it was built for.
Yeah, you know, they're always like, though, Jeremy's sneaking through the weeds and shit. So he's not sneaking through the weeds beside the house or anything. What's his shit?
Yeah, it's just the front yard. Oh, okay. What about the backyard? The two sides. He can sneak over there.
Nobody's pooping in your fence posts anymore.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh my God!
What possesses people to come up with stuff like that?
God, did they call the police and said it? Though I mean, that's the
Did she literally get down on the ground and smell it or taste it? How does she know that it was doo-doo in that hole?
How did she know it was person poo in there? You know, I mean, yeah, there could be, you know, there's plenty of animals out there. They could have been taking like, you know, some rabbit dumps, but how did she know? Did she see somebody like dropping the deuce up there? I mean, what's going on?
That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. Oh, my
crazy, man. But it's also entertaining. You know, it is. I hate, like I said, I hate it for Jeremy, but oh my God! Let's see, just a second. Let's see.
You're working on the Great Wall of Otter Creek, ain't you?
Cartoon. Yep, I am. While we're talking, I'm having Tug going to visit it. You know, make this fence a cartoon called "The Great Wall of Otter Creek." And have the figure visiting it. Have him wearing a shirt that says, I visited the Great Wall of Otter Creek, and all I got was herpes. No, not that. No, like I'm sick.
I've had quite a few people asking here lately about the turtles. I don't know, you know, if they're still alive or not. I don't have any clue. I wouldn't bet on them being alive, but I don't know. I wish that somebody would at least, you know, she's got the shell thing over there. I would hope that they would take some video or pictures, you know, because there's a lot of people asking about that, about them tortoises and turtles.
Yeah. Well, especially since they're raising money, you know, and they're attempting to run a charity on that. You know, they have quite a few people that are asking about it. They should be, you know, they should be showing you what's. But then again, their argument is always, we don't owe anybody anything. Well, you kind of do. You're kind of running, you're kind of running a 501c3. In which you're also asking a bunch of people to give money for. So, yeah, you kind of do owe people something.
Yeah,
all these people do.
Just like Lisa and them. Okay, they collected all of this money. The people that gave them the money, they owe transparency to.
They owe it to everybody. See, that's the thing, though. They don't just owe it to the donors. You know, in doing that, it's a public project that was done in other people's names. Transparency would prove that this stuff was actually done and done correctly. It would, again, when a donor asks for it, a major donor, and then accuses you of theft and has contacted other people outside of that, you would think that would motivate you to say, well, I'm going to provide, but not them, you know, and that legitly allows people to draw inference and say they're thieves, you know. They can question it.
Yep. I mean, when you can't even provide transparency to the people that gave you the money, okay, and now you have, okay, take for instance, D spills the tea. Just had that interview with that young lady here not too long ago. This lady literally took out $1,000 loan. All it would have done to make her happy was just to take a picture of the bench and show it to her, and they don't even do that.
Yeah,
it's nobody's business. Really?
Well, they also treated them like absolute trash, and they, you know, they they derided them and mocked them. I mean, it's horrible how people that have gone out of their way to try to do the right thing and have questions, how they end up getting treated. You definitely can tell these, like, for example, if somebody posts about something, they don't like something I do, I will either ignore it unless it's monetizable by the fats or something, then I'll respond. Right. But if it's from somebody else out there, if it's something that I think is stupid or silly, I may ignore it, or I may still apologize for it. I may be like, hey, sorry, you saw it that way. And I'm sure, like, over time, if you follow an account like on Facebook, you'll see me do that here and there.
Right.
That's how you run a business, know.
I've seen you do it. I've literally read some of the stuff that and what's hilarious is the fact that, yes, you've talked to these people and then they turn around, even though they were mad at first, now they're okay, I understand now.
Yeah, they just want validation for their right. Is you understand that we've been there. We've been there as consumers. We've been there and liking, but you gotta remember, and they may just be having an off day too. We have off days, so I try to treat not everybody. I mean, there are people out there, again, I don't like, but if I'm doing it correctly, you wouldn't know that,
Right. I mean, you and I talked about it once before, all the years I worked in retail, we always had somebody with a complaint. They would come at you just mean. I mean, just fuming. And by the time they're done and it's all said and done, they're happy, they're leaving, they're going home. And I might not like them for the way they treated me, but you have to like fall on your sword and make them happy, because that is who's paying your bills.
Yep. Well, it's a weird world. I mean, you're never going to make everybody happy either, but you can try, like, to make some people. And again, you value it. But unfortunately, these people, they have taken some of the biggest supporters they have ever seen. I mean, hooking into a person that they didn't just give $56,000 in donations. They gave that. They admit that he gave more than that to at least 2 people. I'm figuring Robbie was one of them, because he talked about all the money that he gave. Good God, he put my head on backwards. It looked like I'm going to an exorcism.
Oh, so I know that people had mentioned that Robbie and maybe Miltoast had benefited a little bit, but
big time.
More than the 56K.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Look, it put my head on backwards, but I'm working it. I like how out of it. Look, it's burning something. I didn't ask it to do anything like that.
That turtle
suit.
Fix
the head. Look, my arms are jointed backwards. I'm like, well, that's an interesting towel. Or maybe I just wear my my mask on the back of my head and put on my shirt backwards. Maybe that's what it is.
Or to have you half on, half off the fence, like you're going over.
I will find the turtle suit. And all I got was don't ask. It's a very clean looking on the outside there too. We need a skeletal barn off in the distance. Man, I do like the Great Wall of Otter Creek though. That is a fun answer.
All right, chat. You heard it here. $29.95 gets you a t-shirt. Okay. Well, now let's just double that. $49.95 gets you a t-shirt. Great Wall of Otter Creek.
No. It get you a me shirt.
A me shirt.
Oh my God. The stupid thing, the silly thing with the Lynette is the fact that she could have heavily profited from this whole thing. And she could have done it with, first of all, she would have never had to like Jeremy Hales if she didn't want to. She could have gone about it in a negative light. She could have, she could have definitely had a very negative opinion of him if she wanted to. Now, that was a dumb move. I would say that the guy, even if he had the audacity to tell her no. That's really what got all this started. But when he said no, she could have reframed things. She could have still started up a bit just by, if they would have let him encourage tourism in this area, and they would have been bringing in people, for any of his endeavors. I mean, he's done a bunch, but if they would have let Tube Town grow and let him bring in more people to that area. They would have made money just off of that. They could have had their turtle sanctuary. It's right across the street, for fuck's sake. You know?
Well, think about it. He had plans to build bed and breakfasts right across the street. If she would have handled this instead of handling it like a child, and she was told no, and just said, okay, I'm sorry, forget about the donation bucket. Hey, we'll just bring the turtles, we'll do our thing with it, and everything would have been fine. Mm-hmm. Like you said, it would have probably brought in more money to the town, more money for her. But instead, she went the opposite of a school child, a kid in school. She threw a fit.
Well, she started, making weird allegations about him and Jamie Starr Johnson about sexual stuff. I mean, you look at all of that. Like, that's their go-to. You notice all of them do that. That is a go-to. That nasty false. That's why I throw fits about false accusers, by the way, because I hate false accusers.
That gets under my skin. I mean, the PDF file stuff, to me, is you calling somebody the abuser is the same thing. In my opinion, if you don't have proof, it better not come out your mouth, because those kind of accusations can hurt people.
Well, it also hurts victims. I worked for a long time with child victims. They would be referred by the state, and man, the stuff that these people had been through is just, it's unimaginable to most people. Even for myself, it's some of those, like when I go back and I think about some of it, it's almost surreal. It's like I said, it's unimaginable that a human being could do some of the things that human beings do to other humans, let alone a kid. And, these people take away the credibility from that. They also take away finite law enforcement dollars. If they get law enforcement involved, it's just, it's awful. And like you said, they destroy people's lives too. And I mean, I have nothing but contempt for people like that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. The PDF file thing, that's a pet peeve with mine. That's an accusation that I don't think anybody has the right to even utter unless they have concrete evidence of it, because just the accusations can ruin someone.
Yeah, well, that's why the courts, again, that's why I say that, like Lips, for example, some of the stuff that she's gone after, she's 3 for 3 for the people that are suing, and she's either aimed or, this is what you notice a lot. They will aim things at females, like they will when they'll label them, but it'll be like a video or something. Again, it's supposed to color them in a terrible, promiscuous, some type of way, but with men, they try to attach the just unimaginable to their names, and they're always the same. These people are always the same. And anybody that gets involved with it, ultimately, if they ever fall out, they too get accused of something horrible.
Yep. And we all know that's her go-to. That's Lynette's go-to. Whenever she has a falling out, she goes straight to that stuff, the abuse stuff.
It's not even just her. They all seem to do that. Because they're the whole idea of taking these tactics. They're like you said, they're life ruination tactics. They want to go for the throat right away because they don't have anything concrete. If they want to fight in court and go 1 for 1 with stuff, they have problems. If they want to go and they want to argue truth, they lie most of the time anyway. So when people are digging this stuff up and they're showcasing it, the only thing they have to drop back on is, it's some horrible freaking lie. They want to villainize. And, we see that whether it's Ray and him trying to make you some kind of like the devil, literally, the devil is craziness, or whether it's somebody again trying to make you the worst of the worst, where even people in jail would harm you. You know?
Oh, talk about lies. I know about lies. It's been going around for about a week now that my name is Mark Cooper for some reason. Don't know how that come about.
I heard that, by the way, Mark.
For crime's sake, the original author of those emails, right, was literally in my chat for the past 3 or 4 days, and they know he's in the chat, and she still refuses that it's two different people. She's still blaming me for the emails.
That is so bizarre. Well, if people don't know about that, so what happened with that?
What's that?
You know, you're talking about emails. What happened with that?
Okay, apparently, I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago. This gentleman named Mark Cooper, which is all over Facebook. Okay, he is a Jeremy Hales supporter. Apparently, he emailed Lisa several times, not just once, several times. Well, months ago, she had brought this up. Yeah, Jim Cooper or Mr. Coop, he emailed me and I blocked him. Okay, lie number one. Okay, if she blocked Mark Cooper for emailing the first time, how did she get a second email from him, or a third, or a fourth? So right there out of the gate, she lied months ago. Well, apparently, he emailed her here a couple of weeks ago, asking her something about, I can't even remember what it was. Anyway, she threw a fit blaming me for it. And I'm like, look, it's not me. The guy is on Facebook. I have his Facebook account. He's a nice guy. You know, he's on our side of the fence. And even though people in her chat were literally telling her that it's two different people, she refuses to change her way or her mind. I am Mark Cooper, and I will always be Mark Cooper, according to her. And I mean, Mark the Spark is his name on YouTube. He's been in my chat. I think he even comes in your chat sometimes.
That's funny.
He's literally said in the chats, I am Mark Cooper, you know, and she refuses to budge. I mean, am I mad about it? Hell no, I'm not mad about it. I think it's hilarious. You know how I am with these people. I'm not bad at anything they're doing. I'm laughing at the ignorance behind all of it. But yeah, that's the whole story, guys and gals. She thinks I'm some dude that's emailing her, and it's not me.
They're obsessed with you, though. I mean, it's always been a strange obsession. You know, what's their thing with, by the way, you notice they are obsessed with poop. Like, I mean, absolutely obsessed with talking about poop.
What it is years ago I smoked, and I quit smoking, right? Because I don't like to smoke. But at the profession I was in, I smoked because I was indoors and I couldn't chew chewing tobacco. Well, when I quit smoking, I went back to chewing tobacco. So I'm sitting here on stream with you right now with a big mouthful of it. Well, you know, chewing tobacco, if you know anything about it, it's brown juice.
Yeah, okay? My dad used to chew.
So yes, when I've been on camera a few times, yes, I have brown juice in my teeth when I'm on camera because I have chewing tobacco in my mouth. So she calls me Poop Coop, thinks it bothers me. I've been called every name on the planet.
Yeah, but you know, the default is poop, though. Like they talk so much about poop. I wonder if we're going to find out that there's not just a fetish with dog masks. There's some kind of other more German kind of grossness we're going to find out. Maybe that's why they enjoyed Otter Creek, because they heard about the buckets, you know?
There is a fetish about that out there. I saw it years and years ago. There's an actual fetish when it comes to...
Exactly. There's some really gross things that really, you know, really weird people do. You know, if there's something that can be done, there is probably somebody who is fetishized it, you know?
Right. But she's got it on her mind that she's going to make fun of me because of my teeth. Well, I got news for her. I've showed my chat. All my teeth are good. Okay. I have no cavities. My teeth are all in my head except for one that I had pulled years ago.
Wait, they were making fun of teeth?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, she made mention. What was it? A couple of days ago, she says, "Yeah, we know how Jeremy is about teeth. I'm surprised Jeremy has anything to do with Mr. Coop." And I'm like, I got all my teeth. I can actually eat corn on the cob. Okay, I don't have a problem. Can you imagine?
It's just bizarre, like these people, anything. But then again, I've heard them calling people fat and stuff, and I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, I mean, oh my God, these people look like they show up to freaking Denny's, you know, with their little mobility scooters, like busting up. Can I have a 6th? Can I have a 9th? You know, I mean, they're
I'll be honest with you. When I'm streaming, I usually don't go for the throat like she does, you know, and like a lot of people do. I don't refer to her as, you know, walrus or, you know, I mean, I have in the past a couple of times, but on a normal day, I usually don't degrade her. It's always Lisa or Fleesa. It's, you know, I don't degrade her, but she has a fascination because she can't pick on anything else. I mean, I made comment one time about her teeth, and that's when she just bugged out about mine. Do I care? No. I'm old enough, retired. I can chew chewing tobacco. But I can tell you this, Tug. The medication that I take nobody can get a contact high from. The chewing tobacco I have in my mouth, no one can get secondhand smoke from. So they can live with that. I'm hurting myself, not anyone else, because we all know about the medicine that some people like to smoke all day long.
Indeed. Indeed.
But anyway, that's the story, my man. That's the story.
I'd wondered. I was like, what is all this ridiculous? You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's all she's got. That's all she's got. Oh, and I'm ugly too.
Yeah, I hear that stuff, you know, about us all, where again, you know, we're all hideous and ugly and geeks. And I thought, well, that's not very creative.
No, they have no creative bone in their body. I mean, some creators do go after them hardcore. You know, I don't. I talk about the stuff that they're lying about. If she wants to pick on me about my teeth, go ahead. At least I have all my teeth except for one. Well, excuse me, 5. I had 4 wisdom teeth pulled and 1 tooth that I had broken by a beer bottle. And that's years ago. So, but I have no cavities, and that's where it came from. And I'm sticking to it.
Like the teeth thing wouldn't be a deal either with them. None of this stuff would actually be. But, you know, they came out the gate. And they would deride, like, again, they would just mock and deride like random people. And, you know, you'd be like, are you kidding me? Are you really making fun of just some random people when you know, you look like that? You know,
right?
It's the same thing with, you know, with their other, I recently saw some new pictures and I was like, my God, you know, no wonder these people digitally catfish.
Oh, yes. By the way, the pictures you're speaking of, someone sent me more of them.
Huh.
Bigger ones.
How could they be bigger?
Well, the one I'd seen that you'd showed me, it was cropped. The ones I got were full scale. They weren't cropped.
Oh,
They were the whole.
So it was Richter scaled. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of crazy to listen to them. You know, I know everybody. The whole thing with YouTube is entertainment. My as far as I'm concerned, it's all entertainment. But their entertainment for their people, it's a hate entertainment. It's like they have to say the most vulgar and nasty things to get their people to engage and still come around. I don't think any of her chat really likes to be there. They just love the hate and the drama so much. That's why they're aired every time she's live.
Well, they've lost a significant portion of the audience that they had. You know, you see it when they're not even that, like, they're starting to drift back because they're, for a little while, they had more to talk about. If they have a moment where they have something, like when they're doing something really stupid, like for example, they get a lot of viewership when they're talking about Ohio. Now, unfortunately for them, that meant they were, it sounds like, again, reporting live from the, from what was happening, from people, like either they say, best case scenario, they say that they had a source that was telling them on breaks, which is a problem, by the way, that tale. But worst case scenario is they were engaging and watching, because I watched part of their little disclaim, when they were talking in Ray's chat. I saw part of that. After, it was funny, somebody hit me up and was like, "Oh man, you got to go and check out what's going on in Coop's chat." People are talking about the stuff that's going on with Ray. And I was like, "What the hell?" So I went. Normally I wouldn't notice that until later, but I was sitting around and actually just saw a message come through. I looked at your chat, and your chat in the moment was like, "Oh my God, go over there and check these people out. They're talking about what's going on right now." 2L is talking about what's happening in Ohio. It's crazy. So I went over and I caught right before they deleted everything. I did not catch some of the earlier stuff, like the really damning stuff, but I did catch them talking about that. So I thought that was a great development, with your chat when that was getting talked about.
I was floored. I was floored. I'm sitting here trying to do a stream, and these guys in their chat are sitting there, "Hey, look, this is going on. This is going on." And I'm trying to figure out what to do. So all I could do was tell the chat, "Hey, look, you guys are going to have to go take care of this. I'll talk about it later, but I can't do it right now." So I was just fielding questions from the chat.
Yeah, you couldn't take any kind of shot of it. That was great, though. I mean, your chat actually, they handled it very well. They did a really good job with it. I have to commend them, because they caught all of this stuff that she tried to delete, and because of that, it ended up getting turned over. It went where it needed to go, let's say. For sure. I know that for a fact. It went where it needed to go.
She's trying to play it off
as
it's no big deal. And I'm like, if it wasn't a big deal, why did you delete it?
Well, and why did you have Ray ghost the entire thing? See, they took the stream down, and then she got so much flack, they ended up putting it back up. Right. But like you said, they deleted all of the comments there too. Yep. And they tried, boy, they tried to spin that, and they have tried to spin. They've been spinning. And what's funny is, if you return to any subject, they're like, "Oh, that's old news." Oh no, it's not old news. That's ongoing shit. Everything.
Now, here's one of the things that are trying to spin on that, Tug. A lot of the screenshots have timestamps on them.
Yeah.
Right. And they're trying to say, well, court wasn't even in session at 9 o'clock. Well, what they don't realize is these time zones. These people, a lot of the people that were taking screenshots are in California. This was all going on right around noon is when all this broke loose. California is 3 hours behind me. So this is about the time they were all in court.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. When it came up, I confirmed the timeline later on with how things were supposed to go, like without getting into everything, would she be talking about this stuff after the fact? Oh no, she was talking about it as it was happening.
Right. Yep.
They're trying to play the time zone game. Even with the time zone game, again, their narrative is that she was talking about it when the bathroom breaks occurred. That's a no-no too, because these people have a protective order against them. Like they're not supposed to be discussing this stuff, period. They're not supposed to be harassing Hales or anyone else.
Now, this is something that I was thinking about. She claims that, Jeremy's doing it, so we can do it. Well, Jeremy's not saying what's going on play by play in the courtroom. When he talks about it after he's done with court, he's not divulging information that was sensitive during the moment. They were. Like he takes,
They're talking about they should look over what a protective order entails, because they are so ignorant of what protective orders actually cover, what they protect against. Like, again, though, these are the same people that were saying that the only way a third party violation occurs is if there's direct communication. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
No. What they're doing with these cameras, that's third party.
Oh, yeah.
You talking to Lynette, that has nothing to do with third party anything.
Actually, with Lynette Preston, so interestingly, if they want to try to make that case, Lynette was trying to bring up Jeremy Hales, and she was talking about these, with all of that. I think you could potentially make the case that she's talking to a journalist out of school while she has a protective order against her, which is a no-no. But I mean, if she wants to go with third party, but there is no such thing as third party contact for a person that doesn't have a protective. They're so stupid. Like, how can Hales, first of all, with their narrative, how can he violate a protective order there? He doesn't have a protective order against him. So, and on top of that, this whole notion of, oh, well, Tug works for him. Really? Because that's a new one. You can try to sell that to your audience and stuff. But again, prove that shit. I would love it. And I want my paycheck too.
Tug works for the same person that I do, himself and myself. I don't work for Jeremy. I've met Jeremy. He's a nice man. I've met George. They're nice people. But Jeremy doesn't pay my bills. He's never sent me money. The well that was done, that was all paid for by the people in my chat. I built that for them. They asked me to build it. I built it. Matter of fact, it cost me more than what I got out of the chat. But hey, I don't care.
That was a cool project, though, dude. You did it.
Yeah, it was. I had an absolute blast building that thing. I learned so much building that thing, because that thing's an octagon or hexagon. It's six-sided. What's six-sided? Octagon?
It's a don't ask me questions about that.
I was blown away with the way that thing came out, because I had, look at there. We got Hales in the chat right now.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah.
What the bucks are in the mail.
I like that. So I haven't been able to show this off while you've been around. So I want to pull this up while we're here. There was another thing. Now, again, I asked Mr. Coop to do this. So, if anyone needs blame, it's my fault.
What's that?
I did like the treehouse. Oh, never was. Yeah.
Yeah. I got that.
I think that's funny as hell. Oh my God. That's beautiful.
That can go on any tree. Anywhere.
The tree house that never. What Jeremy needs to do after they put one up, he should mark it like little signs like that, and that way everyone could own a tree house that never was,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you could be like, hey, do you own a tree house? You can be like, well, I own part of the tree house that never was.
Well, I've got 2 projects that I'm working on that go along with that. I'm not going to get into details over those 2 projects, but they all 3 go together. And I messed one of them up. It was a very big, costly mistake, but hey, I fixed it. I just got to get it back on the CNC and finish it. And then I got another one that you know about, but yeah, I got to get those done. Now Mama's not working 7 days a week now. So now we have the weekends, so I can get this stuff busted out and taken care of.
You make some good projects, though. I do have to commend you on that. I was really surprised by, that the whole, that whole project was just it started off as like this it's just a joke, like an idea, like in the middle of, the night. nothing really fleshed out on it. It was just going to be a binge. And by the time it finishes, it's something absolutely amazing. What's really funny too about the choice of the hand there is when people start looking up the costs of giant hand benches, what they find out is they cost around the same amount that the bench that never was supposed to cost. Isn't that interesting? Now, I'm not saying that's what we paid, because again, I'm being very coy about that. I figure if you raise money and can't disclose that, look at this thing. Here's your whale. Let me bring a picture of that thing up while we're talking.
Speaking of that bench, I think it was Gina Ninja or Ninja Gina and Deanna that painted that, and man, they did an outstanding job on that thing.
It all came out really good, though. I mean, look at that whole setup. It looks awesome. And everything's like a little shout out to something else, in there. Like you've got everything from the birdhouse and the camera stuff to the radioactive turtles to the loofahs in the back.
Oh, you need an updated photo, because I think there's been some lights added and
somebody needs to get me another picture, like a good one, when everything's set up and they take a perfect one. I like the freak out about this bench. I thought that was really funny.
I love the pig, the flying pig.
Yeah.
Oh, she had a meltdown over that. What about this flying pig? Does she not know when pigs fly? That's when the Mitchell fountain show up.
It just reminded her of that's how she dreams. You've heard the song "I Believe I Can Fly."
Yeah,
exactly. So she thought that was a shot at her. She was like, "Oh no, my dreams, they're broken."
But it turned out really nice. I like it. I don't think it's an eyesore. I think it's funny. The garbage that they're passing around that we're hurting a family is just utter garbage. It has nothing to do with the family whatsoever, in my opinion. Our memorial
is for a bench. It even says it in the title. They say it all the time. Our memorial is to the bench that never was,
Right.
It is commemorating a scam.
Right.
That is exactly what it is. And that's why they want to deflect it, though, because
they when they talk about this whole memorial thing, it's all about the family with them guys. And I said, this has nothing to do with the families. Whatever happens with the bench that never was, that's what the family's dealing with. The family doesn't have to worry about the memorial for the memorial. It's not anything to do with them.
Well, apparently, the original has nothing to do with them either, because it's just never really been made manifest. When these things, when they need to come back and get back to me when they actually, produce something. Then they can complain. Then they can whine about what we do or don't do. But until then, they have no right to complain about anything. I mean, they're just like I said, they hope that they can deflect. Like if they can convince the morons that listen to them that in some way, shape, or form, all of this stuff is offensive to these people, that they didn't get the thing they were supposed to in the first place, then, well, maybe it'll deflect. It's some classic scammer bullshit. And it works on some of these idiots,
Well, the way I look at it is that little piece of property, I mean, Jeremy didn't do anything with it. It's just sitting there, growed up a little bit. As far as I'm concerned, Travis went in there and did a good job cleaning it up. The well, the bench, the birdhouse, everything looks good sitting there. It's not an eyesore. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't know why they throw such a fit. Well,
because it points out I do, because it's pointing out the scam,
Right. There you go.
Ultimately, that's their problem, And I mean, I don't blame them for being mad about it, because of course, you know, they thought I don't know what they think. I don't know how they think that they could do this publicly and no one would notice. No one would, I guess they figure no one will care.
Well, there's been far bigger outfits that have done similar things that's been called out. What makes them think they're any special to avoid that? They collected money for something that has been, 15 months now and hasn't showed up yet?
That's correct.
So people aren't dumb. And especially on social media, you'll get called out all the time on social media because, hey, that's what social media people do.
Well, they definitely, I mean, they promised something and they promised to their donors as well. But it's just like the Christmas stuff now. They're using the same, you know, oh, well, we can't show any proof of that anymore because blah, 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 blah. Well, you told your donors you would. You know, after all of these allegations of scamming and stuff, you've told them that you would provide proof, but nope.
And that's just where I was fixing to go. You know, you were talking earlier how a big chunk of their audience has lost or, you know, left them. Well, I've talked to several women that used to be, you know, part of their crew. And that was one of the biggest reasons why so many people walked away is because they promised photos of this Christmas stuff and video of this Christmases and nothing ever showed up.
Well, I've talked to certain people and they've noted how when this stuff happens, they don't just get told no. I mean, if it was just that, that'd be one thing, but they attack and deride them, and they have to do it publicly. They have to do it in some of the worst ways possible.
Well, think about it. The people in their chat don't usually have a way to reach out, so they reach out in the chat, and then when they don't like it, they ridicule the people in the chat for saying or asking questions, and those people are the ones that foot the bill for all this stuff. They have a right to those answers.
What a moron. So while we were live, Lips decided to go live. And apparently in the background of that, she had on paint chips. And paint chips had the revenge prawn as a part of his background. And you've got it attached to her freaking lawyer husband while they're in a lawsuit. How dumb can you get?
Oh shit.
Jesus, man, these people, I'm like, they can't do anything that's worse than they just did, right? Oh, well, I don't know.
Well,
maybe.
apparently Paint Chips and Vomit has created their own Facebook group from what I hear. And a lot of their revenge corn is over there. I haven't been there.
I saw some screenshots of that. I was like, I'm not ever surprised by that. The thing though, you know, with them, that especially like one specific, like Paint Chips, that's his MO, like the way he operates right there. That's who he is. But to open yourself up, your license up to this stuff is unreal. I cannot believe that a person would be dumb enough to connect this shit with their names. You know, I mean, we're not just talking about like your name in a lawsuit. We're talking about your license as a practicing attorney. You know, they've been throwing a fit. So, you know, she's been throwing a fit. Oh, that Mino Tug, he's threatening my husband's job. No, asshole. You're threatening their jobs. Jesus. You're not smart enough to realize as an officer of the court that you have certain things you shouldn't do, huh?
Tug, you're not the one showing revenge corn. I mean, how can you be blamed for it?
Not just that. I mean, some of the allegations that they throw around is unreal. I was like, you know, for a random person to throw them around is bad. Like that whole channel is one giant eyesore of a mess with that. But to then go in and to connect that with your lawyer I mean, this stuff is unreal. Like sometimes I look at this case and the stuff that's going on, and I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen the recruiting efforts, this insanity. I've never seen anything like it at all.
No, all right. For such a smart person as she claims to be, acting the way she does on YouTube, is she looking for attention, or is she just that kind of crazy? I don't get it. I mean, she's jeopardizing the only person right now that has a paycheck coming in. That's her husband.
Well, you know, I'm to the point that I can't believe that they would attach this stuff to them, regardless of why they are doing it. You know, to put that with your licensed attorney. I mean, good God.
Now, wasn't there 2 channels suspended not too long ago, and one of them actually lost their channel due to unscrupulous things on YouTube?
Dude, he's sitting on the fucking live stream doing an interview with that revenge prawn images with the other person behind him. Oh my God, you can't get any crazier than this shit. I'm making photograph, making sure everything is documented for that. Dude,
you screenshot away.
Yeah, I can't believe some of this is real. It's amazing, because then, you know, they turn around and they play the victim. They're like, oh, you know, he might lose his license. Yeah, fuck yeah, he might lose his license over it. Jesus, if somebody aimed that at them, I mean, they've got a channel where his name is connected to allegations of SA, allegations of grooming, putting up again their answer to the revenge prawn. Well, not only have they showcased parts of that yet again with the lawyer, by the way, not just her, but with her lawyer husband on it, but they've also created more material.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been scratching my head for almost 2 years over this. You take Fleesa, for instance. She is in a $4 million lawsuit on just her alone. And yet every night she goes live, she just says, here, Jeremy, here's more evidence for court. It blows my mind. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I'm not into the Law 2 stuff that much, but when it comes to common sense, what happened to it?
I've watched some crazy cases, and this is so interesting to me because, you know, just from the what will happen next portion, like it has entertained me. And again, you know, I try to watch that word because I know it's not entertaining to people like Hales or to George or these other people. But, you know, us, the people that are outside of this, we're watching a spectacle, madness. And we're like, holy shit, I can't look away. You know, I no more wish a 100-car pileup on the interstate, but, you know, I can't look away when I see some of this stuff. And I feel like that's what we're seeing. And I'm also, sometimes I think, you know, maybe one of these people like will have a moment of clarity, but no. You know, what's amazing too is they don't understand YouTube either. You know, they talk about wanting to monetize. Well, you know, it'd be, if they lose one of their other channels, they lose that channel too, you know. And I'm curious if they'll stay around. You know, right now they're like an evidence buffet, but I'm curious in the long run, is that a couple $100 a month? Is that going to be worth what comes with it? Because, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, now to touch on what you were saying about Jeremy, I know this has got to be extremely stressful for those guys. And I'm not making light of that at all. Okay. But yeah, the stupidity that I see every time those people go live, to me, is hilarious. Jeremy and George, I feel for them tremendously when it comes to this stuff. But those morons, I can't understand it. Make me understand it, Doug. Send me some of that Tug juice.
I can't believe that it's freaking real some days. I just, like I said, I'm rarely at a loss for words, but I am at a loss for words for some of that. I mean, for real. They think that they'll get away with everything. And again, as an officer of the court, you're held to a different standard, and they should know better.
Well, look at the stuff with Lynette and Crook in Levy County. Okay. They have been enabled. They've been emboldened by nothing happening to them. And it's like all of this stuff is just flowing right from them right to what? Did you? This Jared or Cooper, largest group. Okay. All right. But where was I going? All right.
Emboldened by.
Yeah. They've emboldened Crook and Lynette, and it's just spread to the rest of them like, oh, we can just sit here and say, I got two concepts on this. One, they can think they can say whatever they want, get away with it because nothing's ever going to be done. Or two, that they're so scared they don't know how to react. So they just keep digging deeper.
Well, they double down because some of these people, they think that they're always right. Therefore, they'll double and triple and quadruple down on behavior. Now, every now and then you'll see a moment of clarity and they'll ditch an entire thing. Unfortunately, though, like I said, right now, that channel has become a testament, maybe a tombstone to a career. It's definitely going to be a real problem. And bravo. I mean, I've rarely seen something where I thought that they're done. And it doesn't end with them. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't, all you need is that win against them. And then, then other people are going to have problems too.
Well, they have, according to them, they have a whole team of genius lawyers. What's lawyer 101 when you're taking a case? You tell your client to keep their mouth shut.
Well, and also
they have this whole team over there that's not telling them to shut up.
Their lawyers are doing it.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
I have never seen anything. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff, but I like I said, I'm at a loss for words with some of this, and I'm rarely at a loss for words. They also think that you can go in, you can change up something, you can like take an original stream and then you can redact certain portions of it, and nobody will know. Well, the problem is that we do know. Like, we've already caught it. We already saw it happen. So
at this point, they should just leave the videos alone. I mean, they're already downloaded. It's already been turned over for evidence. By going in and editing it, just makes you look even more,
proof
more
of
guilty.
Wrongdoing. That's what it looks like. Proof of wrongdoing.
You did your time. You did the video. Just leave it up.
Well, they were dumb enough to. Oh, that reminds me, though. I do need to put together a couple more things for the lawsuit, that will be amended, because it is getting amended for sure. And no amount of deletion or anything else is going to save that.
That's right. That's right. You're talking about the Flips lawsuit.
Oh yeah.
That you guys have against.
Yeah,
her.
we're 100%, and we're using the, again, they're doing more. Like they don't learn.
I was wondering. I kind of knew you guys were going to amend it, especially after the stuff that's come out here lately.
Yeah, we were originally going to amend, but they kept running their mouths, and it was like, well, let's see if nothing happens, because they'll think, they'll become comfortable in this approach. Let's see how far they'll go. And they didn't stop. That's the kicker. Hey, can you hold this for like I hear the kids for 1 second. Hold it down for a minute.
All right, chat. You got me, guys and gals. What y'all want to talk about? Yeah, Jesse's lurking. Check in, listening most. Oh, there we go. Joan, there's Miss Susie. How y'all doing? Oh, Rob Pate. I wanted to address something that you said a while ago. I know you're still sitting out there, brother. Hey, no, I know you don't show any disrespect to us, and I totally understand and I agree with you. You know, Travis is an awesome guy. He's trying to do his thing over there, and yeah. So don't even worry about me feeling any way. All right, I'm cool. You know, I enjoy having you in my chat every day. So just be good with it. We're cool, man. We're cool. Hey, Coop, what's up? Barbara, how you doing, Barb? All right, Miss Nanny, what you got to say, curly girl? Oh, better know. Oh, you talking to Joan Fisher? All right. Wouldn't surprise me. Means she's breaking even stricter rules, including Michael. Right, Kitty. Right. Yeah, y'all getting the Coop going now. Oh yeah, that's Cody Rhodes catchphrase. Yeah, gotcha. Hey, he's back.
Yep, I'm back now. It's funny watching the thing, trying to figure out who's speaking. Sometimes when it goes through and it tries to figure out like what party is talking, you know, like how many speakers are part of something. It's funny looking at trying to differentiate, you know, the fats, for example. Like they're so unclear sometimes. It thinks there's like 12 people speaking.
Well, I know using my transcriber that I use, I went ahead and paid for it.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I've noticed that if I just download just the...
Do you use Clipto?
No, I use Transcribe. It's called Transcribe.
Are they pretty well on? Like, we should compare.
Yeah, they're really good. That's where I was going with that. If you try and do the video, she's got that intro. Well, the intro, it does like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 speakers. And then by the time it gets to her talking and Tammy, it throws everything in a loop. So what I've been doing is I've just been snatching the audio. I'll take the intro out, and then it's spot on with her. It'll have her as first speaker. It'll have Tammy as second speaker. And then if Gabe or Robbie's in there, it'll be third and fourth or whatever. And then all I can do is I sent you a couple transcripts. I pull it into my, my document thing online, and it'll let me search the words like you do. So I'll take first speaker and I'll replace all the first speakers in the whole transcript with each person's name. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the fact that you can do stuff like that. I was curious how, you know, on theirs were. I'm catching that. You know, it's funny. They think that like they can delete a live stream because I guess they think we have to go in and record it. You know, I've already grabbed it. I've already loading it into freaking Dropbox right now. I'm loading it up for evidence.
The transcript thing that I use, you don't even have to download it. You can just have the link and it'll transcribe it right from the YouTube channel. You don't even have to download the video.
Yeah, I mean, it can. Yeah, I use the drop in. I usually download the video though, because transcription, you know, it's one thing, it's one level, but I like to have that other level. I want to have it with them saying the words. That way, you know, when you want to turn back to it later on and they're like, oh, they just made that up, it never really happened. Well, then you can be like, yeah, here's you doing it. It happened on such and such date, you know.
But you talk about word salad every once in a while, you know, with your transcripts.
You ever have it come up and it thinks it's Russian?
Yeah. That's one thing that it's been pretty dead on. I sent you a couple of times transcripts. So just read over them. You'll see it's pretty accurate.
One to the other and see, you know. All right. I'm going to hit supers. You sticking with supers or you?
I'll stick for a little bit because I'll be honest with you. I love your whole show, but the supers is my most favorite part.
I love talking to, you know, it's a direct communication with questions and I enjoy it. You know,
see, you're fast enough that you can't do it till the end of the show. Me, I'm still slow enough. I can do it right during the show.
Me being fast. I don't know about that. You know,
I'm
Megan's
talking about
fast.
your
She can-
chat. Your
Oh,
chat
yeah,
is
yeah.
so
I thought you meant
fast.
reading them. I was like, shit.
Oh
Re-
no, your chat moves so fast that I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I always like watching the chat move. You know, so I know in chat people are like, "Well, slow it down," but no, I don't like doing that. I like the chaos and the crazy. You should see it like in one of those trials. So I remember when Ricada Long, he was covering one trial, and he had over 100,000 live people in his chat.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. I
Can you
bet that was
imagine?
insane.
Oh God, it was nuts. They also, so what was crazy about that, it was that Rittenhouse trial, and you know, the mainstream, they were pulling up like a 10th of his audience. YouTube tried to shut him down twice, and despite them doing that, he still came back, and he still came back strong. It was amazing to watch. I was like, oh my God, you know, he's really pulling 100,000 freaking live people. I've never seen anything like it. In depth.
That just sounds insane. And I mean, when I first started listening to you, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know who Tug was until Jeremy, because I've been a Jeremy's Hales fan since George came into his life. I didn't know you guys, and I have enjoyed listening to you and Megan tremendously. I've learned a lot from you guys. Of course, I'm going to get raked over the coals on Monday for that one, but
I mean, you learn, you know, we all learn from each other. We learn about how YouTube works. We learn about the, you know, the odds and ends that come up with, you know, how to tag videos, you know, what to do with this or that, you know, and you don't learn that on your own quickly. You learn it, but you know, it takes a while to find this stuff out.
Oh, I was talking about the fats. She's going to be all
I know. I figured that's what, you know.
Oh, and before you get to going, Rob Pate, I didn't misunderstand it, brother. I understand 100%. All right.
How dare you, Rob? Whatever you're talking about.
He put a comment in the chat while you were gone talking about Travis, and you and I respect him, everybody, and it's cool. It's cool. I understand what he's talking about. You'll come across this chat here in a little bit.
All right. Yeah, I have no idea. I was just, you know,
it was nothing negative. Nothing negative at all.
What a monster! Now I'm just playing with him. He's here enough. He knows.
Oh, and by the way, Rob Pate, if you'd like a new T-shirt, you know, for Otter Creek, the Great Wall of Otter Creek, $49.95, and you will not get a shirt, but he will keep your money. I've got to remind everybody, Megan's not here right now, but we can act like Megan. So $49.95, Tug will keep all the money, and you will not get a shirt. Period. Let's have fun with it. Uh-oh, where'd you go?
1 second.
Oh.
1 minute. I'm checking something real quick. Somebody was messaging me, asking me for something. And I was like, well, let me make sure. So it's like a switchboard. I feel like I live in a switchboard some days, you know?
Right.
I do, man. Like, you know, there's stuff, there's always people like asking about or for things or whatever, you know, and you're, oh yeah. So here's some, that's interesting. So as far as questions about getting paperwork, yes, there are other parties that have not sent paperwork. Sent paperwork too. Yes. So apparently Travis, you know, is not the only one. Yeah, I'm getting confirmation for that. So that's fun. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow up with Travis. And I know Travis, you know, he doesn't like drama, by the way. He says that, you know, he talks about the drama llamas, but you know, it's not drama when it's your life. That's the one thing I like it when he covers and it helps him out, because these people, they monetize, you know, all of that.
Travis, he's all about wanting to have fun, and I totally agree with that 100%. And it's a shame that he's getting dragged into something that all he's been trying to do is help people. Because if you remember the trespass 5 thing, that was all because he wanted to help Lloyd get his stuff off the property.
You know, Jeremy will stand with him, but if say there wasn't a Jeremy that would stand with him, I tell you, they're like these people, like the way that these lunatics have tried to go after with the trespass 5, not one of those people would have stood alone.
Did you ever notice that there was never a bad word about Lloyd until he wanted to move off the property?
Oh yeah, he was the greatest thing since life. It's all of them like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like they talked about how you know, Shara, for example. Shara was one of them. She was the greatest person ever until she didn't agree with them anymore. She asked the wrong questions. She wanted to be left alone. You notice too, Shara was quiet when she walked away. She wasn't running her mouth and, you know, saying anything about these people. They were attacking her. They decided to preemptively attack her. And that's what brought all of that. They're just awful people. They just shut the fuck up and leave people alone. Most of this stuff.
They created the problem.
Yeah. They're amazing though. You know, I do kind of love it. All right, let's cover some supers here. Man, Nancy, thanks for the tip. What a duo, Tug and Coop. Indeed. You know, it's good. I like talking to people that I can just have a flowing conversation with. And you know, you've got a good voice. You know how to handle the mic. So it always works out good. Appreciate that.
I try, man. I try.
No, you do good, man. Especially like you said, you know, for being new too, man. You know, that's really good. Suzanne, thanks for the 20 there. Grifty McGinns for 3D printer for Jim/Mark Cooper in Doug's practice. So, yeah, there we go. You know, that's funny. Cooper, and you know, we could have a law firm.
Yeah, there we go.
We can have Megan Fox's birthday too. I know, man. I didn't even need to grift her birthday. That's awesome. Kat, thanks for the 10. Tug, can I please get a shout out for our amazing community here who even on their own have been thinking about me and my receiving service. So your service master. Yeah, well, you know what? The people out there are absolutely amazing. You included. You know, that's the thing. All of you together are just sometimes, you know, I give, like I said, these people out there, I think they can't get any crazier. And you folks, a lot of times I think, well, you can't get any nicer. And then you prove me wrong. You know, you're even nicer. Or, you know, if there's ever a need, you all come together and help each other out. It's amazing. See, Max Lab, thank you there. I appreciate that. No comment, but certainly comment. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for the 8 months. I need a birthday. Hey, 67 years young. Yes, wow. Indeed. We got to bust out some songage. If you want to participate in the song, by the way, you can unmute yourself. It mutes you automatically. So here we go.
Happy birthday.
Heck yeah.
From all of us to you.
Heck yeah.
May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday. We love to have you here. Happy birthday. Here's to another year.
Heck yeah. Appreciate you too. I hope you have had a great one as well. Travis, what's up, man? Thanks for the 2. Glad you're on tonight. Been barbecuing all day for Dad's birthday. Hey, by the way, let's bust your daddy out a song. Heck yeah. You know what? I should have done that yesterday. Let's bust one out.
Happy birthday.
Birthday to your daddy. Heck yeah.
From both of us to you. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday. We love to have you here. Happy birthday. Here's to another year.
Heck yeah. Man, let me clear my throat. I just lost my voice. Give me a second.
Go for it. Happy birthday to your dad there, Travis.
Yeah.
Many
for sure. I liked it. My voice was like, it went out.
So how are you feeling now? Is it getting better? Or?
This whatever I've been, I'm getting over some sinus stuff in here, but this other mess, it's pretty awful. But we get by. All of us get by, But it has been pretty. The speed or lack thereof of the medical system is what the problem is. For 15 months, all I have to show for it is a handful of tests and medication and one change. That's all I've had, 15 months. So I figure at the speed they run, it'll take 3 to 4 years to even run through it. If this were, the one thing I guess is positive is if it were truly life-threatening in the moment and not just debilitating, we wouldn't be having this conversation. That's the scary part,
Right.
And it's not just one place; it's multiple places. So, Emma, thank you for the 2 there. Shadow boxing while listening to the crazy. That's what shadow box. Heck yeah. Jack Small, thanks for the 10 there. Towards Bugs housekeeping fund. Heck yeah. Oh yeah. And I guess throw some towards Jay's miracle cure. Yeah, Jay was on. He was very sad. Did you realize that the obituaries they were put out on Jay's birthday for real?
Oh really?
Yeah,
you talking about the obituaries that flips?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, oh, they were meant to hurt Jay's feels. That's what it was. Because he loves her so much,
We forgot to grift for him tonight.
No, we were grifting fine on our own for that. Like I said, Cynic there was like the double Southern drawl on a live stream. Indeed, Indeed. That's got to confuse all the fake activists out there. You notice they come out of the woodworks hating Southerners. Have you noticed that?
I saw somebody in chat earlier said they were waiting on the moonshine and gumbo to pop out.
We got to get our dueling banjos. Yeah. Where you going, city boy? Okay, yeah. Fallen Hero, thank you for not only the membership, but as I always say, my friend, thank you for being here. I appreciate the heck out of you every single time. Thank you, my friend. Jack's mom, what's up? Thanks for the 19 months. Mr. Coop makes some really awesome stuff. Yes, indeed. Really great job on the wishing well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
In the clouds, how you doing, my friend? It is great to see you, by the way. Thank you for the 5 giftos. Again, thank you for backing and thank you for giving to other people too. That's amazing. You and right after that, I saw these come in. You and Sister Sal, like almost together. It was like bam and then bam. So we got 5 giftos. Sister Sal, thank you. Also appreciate you. I like the avatar you have there, by the way. That's cute. Enjoy that. But both of you, thank you. Because they dropped in back to back and it was cool to see it. Sean Poe, thanks for 2. Tug, try singing a Barry White song. Ooh, baby. Yeah. Bust out a little Barry Whiteage, I would, but, then I might start getting love statements from, people like the Thats, They'd be like, no.
They'll make you irrelevant and start talking about you every day.
Oh, man. Yeah. It was funny, by the way. One of them, the co-host, was like, oh, they talked about me. I'm famous now. And I thought, well, that's weird. I thought everybody was irrelevant. So, yeah. And now they're like, oh, I could sell autographs. I was like, man, people who think that, Lord, even in joking, they're thinking that for real. They're like, oh my God, does it. Bonnie, thanks for the 17 months. They attack new channels, just like they did with JJ Bean. Yes, indeed. They tried to force him not to cover this. That's why so many people stood up, because it was like, no. Oh, by the way, one thing we didn't mention, remember that group over on Facebook?
Yeah.
That's didn't John bring that Grisham's
up. Group.
Oh, yeah. So the Hales versus, so we found out something didn't understand in that what the Hales versus anti what the Hales. Apparently, if you get it, when these groups get flagged, if they leave the people that got flagged in the group, it counts against the group. And if so many people struck, or there's so many strikes there, eventually you get banned. So
4 strikes and you're gone. 4.
That's wild.
But when they're talking about strikes, okay, say for instance, you come into my group and you put a post up and Facebook sees it before I do and it breaks TOS. Well, Facebook will suspend you and give me a strike. But as long as I leave you in that group, that strike remains there.
That's nuts. So keep an eye out, folks, for these weirdos. And if they start getting struck, you got to remove them. I think that's the message in there for sure. You got to get rid of them. Carol, thanks for the 19 months. Willis did talk about it in the live yesterday as well. Not a lot, but who it was too. Oh, did he? So I saw the video today with the notice. And like I said, he seemed very unsure. Like you could just tell, like I was saying, not to rehash it all, but you could just tell he had no idea what to do with it. He thought like at first, and he was still kind of like, I don't know if I should read this or not. Well, you're okay, Travis, man. You are okay. I'm sure you've talked to somebody else about it since, but if you haven't, then that should have been standard procedure. You should have had that well before. Carol, thanks for the 19 months, though. I do appreciate that. D spills the tea. Hey, what's up, D? Like, again, we talked about your interview. That was an amazing interview. She did a great job.
Yeah, she did.
Thank you for the gifto there. Appreciate that. Rob, thank you for the 5 there. Personally, I think these idiots think it was part of the Trespass 5 countersuit that won. He did not join that. So, yeah, indeed. It was only with certain people. I think they're just afraid that he's going to countersuit, period, because of all the bullshit. They're afraid that certain people are going to go. I'm surprised they didn't write in everyone, though. I'm shocked that they didn't write in like a Megan Fox. Remember, they've made some crazy allegations. And again, with them talking about litigation, like for me, I've made it clear. The only person I've never been involved in a lawsuit before until Lips rolled around because, she tried to make so many threats with it and other stuff. Well, fuck her, I'm definitely, I feel like justice needs to happen. But with them, I don't know. Like they're banking on the fact that everybody has the same mental process like myself, and they won't find a reason to sue them for all the stuff they did. But I mean, you're right. I think that they confused Travis in there for sure. Andre, thanks for the 16 months. This was about a hearing about the camper. A hearing about the camper. Oh, you're talking about, are you talking about, wait, what now? This new one, they've got a hearing on the 10th that's upcoming, but the documents, I mean, we've had access to every document that's come up unless there's there's something that went on behind the scenes that we're just totally not aware of. But I think we've seen the docket. So I don't know. I don't know about that. If it is, I'll need to clarify. But here and after, thanks for the 2. Candy. Thank you for the candy fund, by the way. Here and after.
Mouth food.
Indeed. Thank you. Yeah, for sure. SF, thanks for 5. Is Mr. Coop a Texan?
No.
Are you a Texan? No.
Nope. I'm a Floridian.
They're from that part of the country. Well, there's your answer. He's do you consider yourself a Southerner?
Yeah, 100% Southerner.
Yeah. I'm always curious about what states. That may sound like a dumb question, but I'm always curious, like how far out. When I hear like for myself, people bring up Texas and they'll say, Southerners. And I'm like, those are Midwesterners to me, because of where we're positioned. So I never heard of them when I was growing up as Southerners. Not to say they aren't, but are we just cutting the map in half and saying that?
Well, I was born on an Air Force base, and I was shipped here when I was 2. My dad went to Vietnam and I came to Florida with my mom, and I grew up here. I left for a little while and came back. But I've been in Florida more in my lifetime than I've been out of it. Put it that way.
Yeah, I've journeyed a little outside of the South. I did also like when I was younger, my father was in the military, so I did live in Germany for a hot minute, which was an interesting place, back when, especially with the Berlin Wall intact. It was a very interesting place.
I bet
it was, man. Seeing all the we'll have to talk about that one day. We have like a stream just to talk about some of that stuff. It was crazy. Some of the things I remember from then is just a crazy time. Andre, thanks for the 2. Again, thank you for the lip gloss money. John Poe, thanks for the 5. Hey, tomorrow is the 65th. I hope Bug sang you that wonderful song. I hope that gave you what you wanted there. And also, let's give you some short arm song too. Happy birthday from all of us to you. Yeah, happy birthday. Short arms make your dreams come true. Yeah. Isn't that sexy? Sure. I don't know why it gave me T-Rex arms. But
every time you play that, it's a trip.
I love it. Sherry, thanks for the 5. You sound better today. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't lost my voice as much. Hope you're feeling better. Hug the bug, please. She's adorable. Indeed. Yeah, compared to yesterday with this sinus mess, I am definitely feeling better than that. Sister Sal, thank you again. Appreciate you. Bradley the Sloth, also, thank you again. Appreciate it. Who's your daddy? Thank you again. Eshawn, thank you again as well. Also, Yeti McYevison. I just love saying the name. Thank you again. I appreciate you. I saw this too. Bradley the Sloth threw into and said, there's some money for some scented trash bags. For no. Miss Tammy, thanks for the 5. Tug LP has to add every lawsuit. So if she wins any against, she's adding in any winner, but she's also adding in the people that she thinks she could lose money from too.
That's a trip.
It was a double. But what's crazy though, okay, again, they've been promising lawsuits against an army of people, right? But they're not listing them. They're not listing like you or me or Megan, or you know what I mean? They didn't go through and list all these people. And again, as I pointed out, and I'm not going to point out what, they have made a major mistake in their filing. A major mistake that after everything is said and done, then we'll talk about. And it'll be fun. It will be funny because I saw it. I was shocked, Suzanne, thanks for the 5. Sharon in chat has a good point. What if the antis are messing her up so she loses HG to CPS? Then one of them could try to adopt HG. Lisa and Jay. Again, there's a lot of things that are strange in this. Like stuff like that, the what ifs. You can definitely entertain some crazy what ifs, but we just don't know. I do feel like sometimes that some of the legal stuff, especially, it is so bad that they'd have to be doing this on purpose, Rob, thanks for the 5. Side topic. Any proof 17 children actually received gifts? No, not at all. In fact, they have refused. They've said that they will not provide proof, because blame Jeremy. They were going to provide proof, but Jeremy Hales, so they can't. It was like, well, that's convenient.
Tug, that reminds me. I've never seen any of those people post any proof of someone saying anything poor to them. They claim that they get these phone calls and they get these emails, just really threatening and harassing them. But if somebody was threatening and harassing me, I'd be showing the world. Here you go. There you go.
Well, I show some of the crazy ones, like every now and then I'll throw in. Now I get some crazier stuff, but they especially, like, they have no show. They just, let's be honest, they have no fucking show at all. It's just a repetition of the same talking point. That's why I gave it, a few days before I went back to it. But
if somebody's sending you emails threatening to unalive you,
right,
the first thing I'm going to do is see what this moron has sent me. Look, guys, and I'm not going to make accusations like that without proof. That's just crazy. Okay.
They're just a bunch of nuts anyway, man. But no, they don't show any proof of anything, really. They refuse, and they always, again, they blame Hales because they talk about, well, I'm worried about this or that. Well, again, they could blur out the person that's part of it. When you raise money and you tell your supporters that you're going to do something, and then you don't do it, like that's a problem. Suzanne, thanks for 5. Libs would not show up in court or Zoom, so she kept losing her cases, and her clients likely still pissed. Well, she sued a bunch of her clients. I mean, that's just the mess of it, Yeah, Cynic, thanks for 2. Nick Ricada introduced me to Tug via the Vic Mignogna suit. Yeah, that, man, we were all... So Nick, back in the day, he did really well. He wasn't directly part of the blood sports crowd, but he was definitely involved close enough. Like he was somebody you didn't want to mess with because he would verbally eviscerate people. But back in the day, he would pull, like, with no matter what topic, he'd pull 1,000+ people live, and that's a big number. People have gotten spoiled with this subject and think like these numbers that you see are typical. They are not. Typically, if you're pulling over 600 people in a live stream, you're in the top I think it's 0.01% of live streamers, 600 and above. Like it's just an insane amount. But Nick, yeah, back in the day, when we covered Vic Mignogna and those allegations against him, what a time. What a time. But yeah, that was what, 2019? Is that correct? I can't remember. AKA the cat lady. Thanks for 2. Did you see Felisa sending people to Kiwi Farms? I did. What they're asking for, what's funny is that specific element there, they do not want to have come in, because what they'll do, like Kiwi Farms won't be on anybody's side. What they'll do is they want to have fun, and the way that they have fun, well, how you can read up about the place, but a digital catfish who is taken 6 figures or more from some people, and I mean drives around in a loofah mobile. They think they want that heat. Are you kidding? What a bunch of idiots. And also send people there. Again, one of their problems they run into is the fact that they are not careful about anything they do. Just because someone types something online does not make it legit. And then to send people over and pretend, oh God, that's not just the way people get sued, but that's the way they end up losing freaking channels. But they don't care. I mean, it's just like Lips having Paint Chips is banned on YouTube. He is. Just because he makes more channels doesn't mean he's not banned. So anytime you have an idiot like that on, you endanger your channel. God, these people are dumb. Jack's mom, thanks for the 10. Do you think Lynette and Crook have connected the fact that because Felisa didn't finish the barn, she lost her homestead exemption? I don't know. She kept her money. Yeah. As for her losing her land. Good friend. Indeed. I think that's actually a point, maybe that's a point I should post, because that's actually a very good point to remind her of.
The homestead?
Yeah, because the reason that she could lose everything is ultimately down to whoever didn't get permits and more. So when they didn't do all of that, when they allowed her property to, go unfinished, they're the ones who put her in the jackpot. And she had enough money to do that. She's always had enough money to go and finish this up, or to at least get it to a point where it's not in jeopardy, But
well, from what I understand, isn't it the contractor that pulls the permits?
Yeah. Well, what they had to do with the permit, they had to go in, they put together the permits, and you have X amount of time to do that stuff. And they did not do everything in that amount of time. So they have to go back and they have to revisit it, And that's what those emails to contractors were about. that she sent out. Again, these people can try to play nice and pretend, but we've seen what they did, and it's not a little, like, if we got to do a disagreement like you and I online, that's one thing. But if you started trying to send me to prison, that would be a different one. That's not a tiff anymore. It's crazy. Ian, thanks for the 5. Hi, petrol money for the family general. Indeed. I appreciate that. Tennessee, we were given federal disaster relief because of the issues with those storms that just rolled in. It was that bad. Suzanne, thanks for the it's crazy. Thanks for the 2. BC comes for real. When the court, they come for assets, we'll know then. Yes, that is true. It is true. And also, thanks for the 5. Please have the agents that come for assets have body cams so we can see the highlights. That would be interesting, would it not? William, thanks for the 5. The craziest part about the poop hole call was how the deputy dropped it and moved on. Like he's been there many times and it's totally, I mean, well, if you start looking up complaints, like just look at all of the complaints that you can find from Lynette by herself. Like, they are crazy. And as a law enforcement officer, I'd be like, oh my God,
They've got to be laughing about this at the sheriff's department. They really do. I mean, my favorite one is when she called McIntyre trying to get him to place charges on Jeremy for, making a false report.
Yeah. Oh, when she gets mad.
Yeah. He explained to her, that's not you that files that. That would be the police officer that took the report. Oh, whatever. That was classic.
God, I can't believe these people.
Classic.
William, thanks for that 5, though. I do appreciate it. It was, it is amazing how they just looked at me like, oh, gross ketchup. Thanks for the 2 fleas in a cup. No. Bleh, bleh. I don't need that thought in my mind. Gross. Bad ketchup. Bad. Colleen, thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate you. I like your avatar, by the way, too. Suzanne, thank you for the gifted membership as well. Thank you there. Like I said, there's a little patch of these, so we get about 7 in here. Thank you, Suzanne. Appreciate you. I saw these fall in too, and later on, I saw Harry about 5 minutes later. Harry drops in 5 gift-ups. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that too. And I love those because they don't just back the channel; they give to other people. So that's cool of y'all. Thank you. Rob, thanks for the 10. Those who criticize Travis watch his videos. Yeah, the work on the memorial, the tube, indeed, the bike racetrack, the schoolhouse farm. I can go on. Indeed, I like Travis. Like sometimes I see people complain. Sometimes they like, well, he doesn't get to the point. Dude, I don't get to the point. It's just how shows run. And he's a good guy. Hey, what's up, kiddo?
Well,
what you doing?
Think about it. Whoa, Mrs. Bug.
I had a raider real quick. What are you doing?
I'm watching.
Were you cleaning? Is that what you said? I was cleaning, Dad, because I love to clean rooms. Right?
Yes.
You don't know what to say about that? Hey, this is.
If you tap the.
You look. That's almost all the way chart. You want to take it with you? Here, go. You can go have some fun if you want to take this Switch. Okay.
And I love you.
I love you too. Hey, don't play with the Nintendo Switch while you're walking up the steps. Like, don't you go up and then play with it, okay? Or you're gonna end up. Yeah, I don't want to listen to you fall back down the steps. Well, grab your water
with flavor.
We'll put you a flavor in it, or bring me a flavor. Grab. I'll have a go get it. Go get a flavor, and we'll go get your flavor. I'll put one in it. Okay. All right. Hey, what were you saying, man? I'm sorry, I cut the Raider cut you off. Do you know what you were saying about Travis?
No.
You don't remember?
Nope, don't remember. I was sitting here dwelling on the teacup thing that Ketchup said.
Oh, God.
And I'm thinking, oh, Disney World, those big teacups?
Yeah, I wish that was what that meant. And not the horror that she brought up there for real. Silver Fox, thanks for 10. See, when I filed bankruptcy in Florida in 2003, I was told I could not include money owed to and from court proceedings. I did not, luckily, but I was told over and over judgments can be written off. Yes, that it's a basic, and especially, you can write off certain types of them. Again, like if a credit card company came after you, if they wanted money, you can write off that kind of debt, but you can't write off this other debt. Here, let me have that, baby.
I like how you only have. How many games do you have?
Oh, the Switch?
On the phone and Switch.
On my phone? I have no idea. I play like 2 games on my phone, though, usually.
How many games do you have on the Switch?
I don't know. I don't have a pair of scissors over here, baby. You might have to go get me a pair of scissors or something. I can't open this. Hey, I can't open this without a knife or a pair of scissors or something. Let me see. Wait, maybe this will pop here. These stupid little, she wants a flavored, for water.
Yeah.
I'm trying to open this thing, but they didn't have.
Flavors are good.
Well, they're good, but for some reason, they didn't put a rip tab on this one.
I guess
Mama drinks those a lot.
Well, when you buy 6 or 7 of them and they cost like 7 cents a piece, they're like, yeah, you don't get that rib tab this time.
Maybe they just forgot.
No, they probably did. They probably just forgot.
Yeah, but a lot of stores forget something, like they have to put something on it, like they're washing. You know what I mean? Because some stores really wash, and it's like that store was washing as fast as they can.
Is that what happened? Oh,
yeah.
I was wondering how that went. Okay,
yeah,
well, go take it with you.
Because stores have to wash, or they can't get the onions in a lot.
Okay, well, thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it. All right, love you. Yeah.
Love you too.
Oh, you want a buddy bump real quick? All right. Well, I need to finish my stuff though. Buddy bump. All right. Go. If you're gonna go stay up for a minute, you better go have fun because it really is your bedtime. But I'm gonna let you stay up for a little bit longer. Okay.
Goodbye.
Love you.
Love you too.
she's like bedtime. No way.
There we go. Now, question for you on this. I'd heard something about malicious intent.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Being that they went through the Ohio court, they've got the restraining order. That judgment that she has against her right now for the lawyer's fees and what she owes the court, she can't write that off.
No, a protective order. No way.
Right. That's
as malicious as it gets.
Okay. That's I needed that question answered because we'd been talking about that quite a bit in my chat one day, and now you've answered it. So we're gonna talk about that again.
Yeah. Let's see. 1 second. Actually, that's good questions though. Like the whole idea of malicious intent. It's saying that something is deliberate, that it was wrongful, aimed to cause harm, to harass or injure another party without legal justification or probable cause. That's when we talk about like Hales, for example. With Hales, for him to prove injury, since he is a public person, even a limited purpose public figure, you have to prove malicious intent. You have to show that they acted with malice. And I mean, that's a key element, to proving damages, and the signs alone, those, that.
Well,
but
restraining order, that's legal right there. I mean, I think they got them on what? Stalking and harassment.
Yeah. And violations, on top of that. But it's acting willfully though. They're deliberately doing something. And remember, it's so you've got the willful without a lack of justification, for purpose, when you ask what the purpose is. So if the purpose is to annoy or to harass or inconvenience a party, there's no merit to it whatsoever, then that. And also, one of the things you have to remember too, it's not just hostility. It doesn't require like a personal vindictive or a hatred, but it's more about like a conscious decision to go out and to wrongfully do. So
I think contacting his mayor is willfully doing.
Yeah, going after his the platforms that he's been on and stuff. Again, you have a lot of elements out there. Now, again, we'll see, Fed out of the lawsuits from easiest to hardest. Of course, the Dan Owen is the hardest to win. That is a difficult lawsuit, because you're going up against the system itself. Fed 2 is a difficult, out of the others, I mean, Lord, where they've gotten to, it makes it look easy too. When you had Fed 1 get to where it is, a lot of people are under the misconception that lawsuits are somehow, easy to get. They're difficult. More than likely, when you start a lawsuit, you're more than likely going to see it kicked out of court or fail in some way, or fall apart. And for Hales, the stuff against Lynette, man, she's in a bad way already.
Right. Now, tomorrow, I'll probably holler at you tomorrow. I got some questions about this Dan Owens thing from what I'd heard today. I don't really want to talk about it tonight because I don't know enough about it.
Okay.
But yeah,
we'll talk about it. Just yell at me.
Yeah, I will.
Cynic thinks so too. Yeah, Laura Owens was the craziest case until this one. Indeed. I mean, the Laura Owens one is still absolutely insane in its own right. You're right. It's just the public spectacle that this thing has become is next level. I'm stunned every time I think back. Like when you sit back and you ask yourself, what do I remember out of this case? Like what has happened since I've been watching this thing go on? Like just take note of all of that, and it's wild to think back. Rob, thanks for the 5 there. Coop, don't misinterpret that chat. You are second on my support list. The way you will not allow unproved or personal hate talk on your page. Oh, that's good. That's solid there, for sure.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
I wish I would have got in on that Laura Owens thing. I don't know much about it, but the little bit that I've read on it, that is some wild
nuts,
stuff.
Man.
That's crazy.
A
woman getting pregnant without having
sex.
How does that work?
Babies. Yeah. And she's done it to multiple people. Oh, it's all crazy, man. Cynic, thanks for the 5 there. I sent an email about Valentine's card. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I had that, but we were out of area where I couldn't get a response to go through. I need to make sure that I guess the response didn't go through. So I forgot to check that again. I should have checked it. Just need the spelling of Bug's name. Yeah, I'd sent, but I guess it didn't go through. I'll send it again. I'll push it through right after this again. Thank you for noting. Because like I said, I go out to some of these places in the middle of nothing, and I should check and see if emails went through, but I always forget. Hey, Rob, thanks for the 5. Speaking of changing my birthday, found out on JJ Bean today. I share it with one of Liv's 2 birthday dates. If you know, you know. Indeed.
That's funny.
That is funny. Wanda, thanks for the 2. Hey, Tuck and Mr. Cube. Hey there. Hope you're doing great, by the way. Travis, thanks for the 10 there. I love you, Tuck. And here's for you. You know what I've been through, but I'm drinking too much. I'm going to fix it. I just, I don't know what to do anymore with Dad's health. Makes it worse. And Mom's sick too. Yeah, that stuff's rough, dude. The one thing you've got to find, man, drinking and everything else, it's a negative coping skill. You look at it that way. It's a way that you learn to deal with pressure and stress, but it's not positive. It's bad for you, and you've had bad outcomes with it as well. One of the things you may need to do, brother, you may need to talk to a professional for real. And I when I say that, I mean that. Sometimes you just need someone that is not connected to you, that you don't know, that has no connection with any circles, that you can just take this stuff, box it up, and leave it there, and also when you're talking, maybe come up with some idea. And if you need more than that, like if you need other assistance, if you need medication on the moment, whatever, you can discuss that there. But, sometimes we need that. We need to find positives there. And man, like I said, I got you in our prayers, brother, and appreciate you, man. Puzzler. Thanks for the tip. I need an interpreter for Southern tonight. It's funny. Like what's funny is like for us, our compared to some people's accents, I think ours are pretty tame.
Oh yeah, most definitely. There's a lady that I watch on YouTube a lot. She's younger and she does a lot of outside stuff, with her farm and everything. Now you talk about an accent. That girl's got an accent now. You can hear it. It's just like when she speaks, it's like you can cut it with a knife. I mean, the accent is so thick.
A little dancer. What's up? Thanks for the vow, Doug. You're in trouble. How dare you call us Texans Midwesterners? How dare you make this sweet but clean? Just terrible. Terrible, LOL. That's funny. Well, I appreciate you, Midwesterners. Oh, no, I said it again. Rob, thanks for the 5. Go back and watch the show where they picked items for Amazon gift list. Obviously picking for self, not children. Yeah, they had a bunch of not so kid. No kids are asking for, again, like Lowe's gift cards. That just doesn't happen.
Oh, work boots.
Yeah, some of that stuff, I'm like, no. Hey, what's up? Hey, knock it off. How you doing, man? I gotta wonder if Lynette was carrying a wire in Ohio. Good to hear you, Coop. Always good live talk. Hey, thank you, man. It's good to see you, too. I wonder with that, again, what they were up to. But, we'll never, unless they screw up and say it live, will we find out? Not sure.
Nah,
we'll see.
I doubt it.
Sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes they say
we can all speculate, but like you said, unless they accidentally trip up, we'll never know.
Yep. Let's see. Rob, thanks for the 5 there. Bankruptcy 30 years ago, I was only allowed to keep home and 30K per. Yeah. They limit exactly what's there. And again, I don't root for the system to take things from people. When people have problems, I don't root for that. The thing with like LP though, she did this for not to try to help herself and to clear debt, but because she maliciously went after people and it fried her life. So, fuck her.
So could this be considered we all know the reason why she filed bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. It's to try and hurt the Fed cases.
Sure.
So could that be considered somewhat of fraud?
Oh, it definitely was. It was definitely fraudulent and BS, I mean, 100%.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha.
What in the world?
Uh-oh.
These people are crazy. I always like seeing like what's going on with certain things, what people post. I see it roll through when I'm checking things. I get notifications. Got some of it done. Thanks for the 5. The decision to create the Ohio Protective Order is not subject to bankruptcy in any way. And the financial sanctions are from intentional action. Yeah, that's what it is. It's about intentional action. That's exactly it. So with the protective order, that's what they're trying to write off any liability whatsoever. Like Lynette is again, she's trying to take bankruptcy, anything that she's done. Like you said, that she's gone out with intentional action and done, she's still trying to get rid of. And she thinks these people have told her that will work. They did a stream and they bragged about how they were all going to do that. It was crazy to see, but you're right, Don. I mean, 100%, 1,000%, for sure. Rob, thanks for the 5. No more Doug or Coop shows. Spend too much on tips.
Oh, speaking of that, Monday morning, Rob.
Let's see. I've got a couple more. And then Emma said 5. Thank you for that. I'll look over everything. Thank you. I appreciate you. And 100%, 100% what you're saying there. I won't read that, but I agree. It's terrible what people do and what people, when they accuse people falsely, again, there are victims that are, you don't want to believe. God forbid that you yourself are falsely accused of something. God, I'm glad, like when these people tried to make up crazy shit for me, I'm glad that their narrative, they weren't smart enough to tailor a good narrative. You know what I mean? Because that shit could be life ruining, but thankfully, let's see. Hey, what's up, Kathy? Hey, thank you there. Sent $50. Appreciate that. Yeah, noted. Thanks for your time. Well, thank you. I saw that come in earlier today, and thank you. I appreciate it. All
That's
right,
for one of them Great Wall of Otter Creek shirts.
For real. All right, we are done. So make sure you check out Coop. I appreciate you for being on here too today, man. We went for a while, but it was a fun stream. I had fun.
Well, you got two Southern boys just going at it. We're having fun.
Indeed.
We both like to talk.
Yep.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you a lot.
You too, man. But we are going to bounce out of here. Go check out Coop's channel, like I said, and we will see you maybe tomorrow. If we do, no, we'll see what happens. All right. Thanks, folks. See ya.